Alright guys, so this is week 6 and guys, when are you having your midterms in other subjects? Are you having midterms or quiz or any kind of midterm test? No midterm, right? Or are you expecting some midterms? So RCSA coming up next week. Okay, so there's a midterm for that. Is the quiz or is it practical? Either of after that. Oh, okay. Ouch. Oh, that's the same instructor who's teaching both these subjects, right? Okay, that's good. Oh, we're not expecting a midterm in VCP. Okay, I almost forgot that. What? Hey, that's my subject. Okay, so I was gonna just, just skip it. All of, just because Iman said. So I have to rethink. I was planning to have a midterm, but I have to think really hard and come up with those 25 questions that will be 25 marks, and those will be all true false and real traps for you with open book within 1 hour. So yeah, well, so yeah, so we're gonna have a quiz for whatever we covered till now, and 5 questions from how to make samosas. The rest of the 20 questions are actually from VMware. So, but if the samosa recipe is good, then you could just get all the marks, even if you did not answer any of the 20 questions. So just skip that. I was just kidding. So yeah. Get tamarind. Okay, there you go. So we now got all 25 marks already. Okay, guys, that's it. I mean, like, that's the end of it. I mean, like, this is recipes already coming in. So okay, guys, let's go ahead with. Okay, so let's get going. I think a majority of us are here. So what we were doing was we connected to our remotely connected to our hypervisor, and we were exploring some of the features. So today will be a long installation because we need to deploy that big enterprise grade application called Vcenter. We need to deploy that too. But before that, let's just try to explore a little more about the hypervisor, the inner workings of a hypervisor, and then we can just go for that. Okay, so that was my youngest kid, and he just doesn't care about if I'm giving lecture. So okay. Anyway, we were talking about, yeah. So let's connect to our hypervisor ESXi host. Whichever we were connected to. Suppose you were connected in last class. You were connected to ESXi1, so you can connect to that, and if you were connected to ESXi2 in the last class, you can connect to that. So and then we're gonna go for then later let's install vcenter on server 02. We're gonna do that. So all the steps for that we'll be talking about, and yeah, so well, we can just then pray that we get some help, or our laptops would stay fine after installing that big application. I've been doing that for a previous class and in some other college classes as well. And 16 GB RAM, really, if we use, with a plan and carefully, so even 16 GB, full 16 GB RAM in the laptop can also take that kind of big hit. When I say big hit, this means that we can deploy a big application that is kind of a beast, vCenter. So it would run even on 6 GB or 8 GB. So, well, it would run. It would just take forever to start. So we're gonna try to balance our environment in that case. It will still be predictable what we will be doing there. So Paul says my servers and E6Is aren't starting up. Just loading and loading. So Paul, you can just put a screenshot there on. Paul, also try to shut down, or right click and shut down just E6i2, and then try to start. Guys, everyone, for next time as well, please try to start, first machine when it's fully started, then start a second machine, then when it's fully started, then start a third machine, or just start first two machines, then start the other two. Because if you start all four together, so it would just look for RAM, which is less, so it's gonna take time then.
If we are not doing anything on the ESXi machines, will they still consume all the 4 gigs of RAM that's allotted to them?
Nope, it's not going to.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, guys. So while it is starting, there's no other choice than to wait for it to be fully started, and hopefully, that's without vCenter, and we're starting the machines, and then there are some. So last time, what RAM we gave, we're gonna talk about that too, and I'll just check the diagram from the last lab here, and yeah, so let's go to this diagram and open our OneNote, and then go for VMware class here. So that's okay, DRS, and that was yet another one. Okay, I'll just put that diagram here that we took, and from here I'll copy further, and let's start discussion of that. So I'll make it a little smaller. Okay, so here we can see that I'll just point out what's going on. So the first one has to be up all the time. It's providing infrastructure services like DNS and DHCP. It also has Active Directory. So this has to be on all the time. Server 1. Server 2, right now we're connecting from server 2 either to E6i1 hypervisor or E6i host 2. So either we're connecting to host 1 or host 2 right now. So I think last time I was connecting to E6i2. So for now, while we are still working a little more on E6i2, so we could just shut down E6i1 if you were connected to E6i1 the last time. So connect to that and shut down E6i2 temporarily only, right? So if I check my environment here, so I'll go to server 1 that is started, kinda, and yeah, here. Okay, so I'm logged into server 1 and that seems to be okay. Server 2, if I go there, so that is okay, so I'm here. Yeah,
I have a problem with all my machines. It's kind of saying that could not open the VMs, and
yeah. So
do
can
you
you
want to
put a
remove it?
screenshot on the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, I've pasted that.
Oh, you do already?
Yeah.
On WhatsApp group?
Yes. And one of the machine is deleted also. My EXI01 is deleted.
Like deleted? Like you deleted, or?
I don't know. Like, I was just trying to do something and accidentally I may have deleted it, but I'm not sure where did it go.
So I'm connected to a Humber VCP6 class. I think that's the group name, and I don't see any screenshot there. So, sure. Hey, did you put that screenshot on AWS group? If you have AWS group?
No. Okay, so there you go. I pasted it. I didn't send it. Yeah.
Okay, so if I click that and drag it here. So
Yeah.
so could not open virtual machine 6i2 D and file not found. Ouch. Well, obviously don't click the remove button. But did you copy paste or cut paste your folders to, you know, just reorganize or make space kind of thing?
No, sir. I did not touch them.
Uh-huh. So, well, yeah, it cannot find those files, so that's kind of problemo now.
Sir, do I need to do the entire lab again?
Well, not the entire lab, but whatever is missing, you can try to do that. Actually, all three seems to be giving red. Is this message
Yeah.
coming for all three?
Yes,
Did you
everything.
delete the template machine?
No, sir. It's right there.
Okay, one of them is template machine and the other, wow, okay, that's, I have no idea. So yeah, if they're not opening, try to search with those names in the C drive and D drive if you have a D drive. Otherwise, search on C drive. If they're not found anywhere, then yes, you have to recreate.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, guys, so yikes. But yeah, do you have a D drive on? Okay, so Himanshu is saying Vmware Workstation and device credential guard are not compatible. Vmware Workstation can be run after disabling device credential guard. Please visit. Okay, so Himanshu has an error as well. I'm also getting issue with all VMs. Well, this is a bit different. So Himanshu, you can open that link here. So guys, hopefully we are able to maintain the environment. Creating is one thing and maintaining and keeping it working is another thing. Entirely together, I'm sure definitely you will. Yeah, well, so Ajibola is saying that it's better to suspend the guest instead of shutting down, although, well, shutting down, it should start after that. If we haven't made any changes on the drive, if we haven't changed any folders, moved any folders anywhere, or hopefully there's no virus attack there, and we have an antivirus there, so anything could happen here. So guys, then there is Feroz is saying BSOD, blue screen of death. Ouch. Wow. So everything is happening today. So well, Himan, you have to go to this link and try to check what's going on. Turn off CGTG. Wow. Or shut down the machines. Well, they're already shut down, I guess. And then close the Vmware Workstation, restart the old computer, then come back and then right-click on the Vmware Workstation and open it with administrator privileges, and then try to turn on the machine. That's just one try. Otherwise, you can just open the link and paste it on WhatsApp as well. This link. Okay, Khalid Ibrahim has posted it, so okay, I'll just drag that away again. And Khalid Ibrahim has posted a link that is talking about this. Workstation device credential guard are not compatible. So what to do with that? Thank you, Khalid Ibrahim, for that. In 2013, I did post a blah 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 blah. So to disable Hyper-V from starting, the following command can be used: bcd edit / set hypervisor launch type off. A reboot of.
So I'll reboot my machine. I'll join the meeting after 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And I started my computer. Paul says seems okay now. Oh, so guys, first of all, try to restart your computer and then check if that error comes again. And this seems like who had that? Feroz, did you install Hyper-V as well in your machine? So two hypervisors will not work together, and the two hypervisors have to one of the hypervisors have to be there, but to Vmware Workstation or Hyper-V, right? But not both. So try to have. Okay, so then yeah, some file might have been installed. So there's that link, Feroz. You can try to t-shoot with that and follow the instructions. But yeah, this has to be then also Googled. That's not one of the common errors there. I've seen that way back and I forgot what we did, but we just followed the instructions from there. Okay, so disable the Hyper-V service. Okay, so suppose you did not install Hyper-V itself, then maybe because of some other application, Hyper-V service also got selected. It could be anything, right? So try to issue and check that why Vmware Workstation is detecting another Hyper-V. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Restart. Wow. So guys, there's a lot going on machines here. So we're actually, recording all this session. So those who are having issues or problems, don't worry about that. I'll give you enough time during the week. You can also reach up to this what we are doing today, right? But if you got issues there, just give me that screenshot, and don't worry about the marks. Just try to come back. But I would need a screenshot there that you are having an issue. That's why you were not able to upload the lab, or any reason that you can give. So okay, guys, let's try to understand first where we are, and then try to go ahead from there. So if we talk about this. Machines, so we can go to server 2 here, and from server 2 let's try to connect to our hypervisor again. We just need to check if we can actually go for storage and networking. We're gonna just try to check what are the components of hypervisor. Then we're gonna start the installation of vCenter, and we're gonna talk about the architecture of the vCenter, which is the main application that controls centrally all the virtualization environment, and also the whole course revolves around that vCenter application. So that's going to be very crucial. All the questions in the interview will be about vCenter. Whenever you go for interview, let me know. I will send you the interview questions as well. And yeah, your resume at the end of the program you can send me, and I'll send you some sample resumes. You can just try to get your resume up and running. Although there is some good resume correction and career related services offered by Humber as well. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna try to connect here, and if we go ahead now, so I'll just click that, and I'm on server 2, and it is written here ESXi02 for me. So last time I was connecting from server 2 to ESXi2. If you're connecting to ESXi1, you're okay. If you're connected to ESXi2, so wherever you created the virtual machine last time, right? Wherever you connected the virtual machine last time, go ahead and connect to that. So I'm going to try to connect to that. So the username that I need to put here to connect to ESXi2 from the browser is, right? So what was the user? It was a Windows user, right? So if I just try to check that, so what was the user here? We were your first name admin. So I should be connecting with your first name admin, right? And the password, huh?
I think it's root.
Yeah. Okay. So we're all here. Good. Thank you, sir. Root and the password. So small ABC, capital ABC, shift123, and I think without shift123, I'm gonna know now. So the class password I'm trying to connect to ESXi2, and there we had a virtual machine. Okay, maybe it was just not the full one. Oh yeah. So small ABC, capital ABC, shift123 only. Okay guys, here we are all connected now. Hopefully we are all connected, and we need to just make sure that what you see there is a virtual machine created already with a green play button. So that green play button means that the virtual machine actually is started, because I suspended the ESXi2 hypervisor. So that's why when I unsuspended it, so because I did not shut down, if I had shut down the hypervisor, the machine would have also shut down, and right now I would have found it as shutdown machine, but it was suspended, so it was frozen, so it kept started when it was unsuspended. It was in that state, right? My VM is blue. Okay, so that means that the VM Kavita would have is not started yet. which is okay right now. It's if it is not started, it's okay. If it is started, it's okay. It doesn't really matter right now. So Paul says, so how do we power it on next time? Feroz says not working. You can go ahead. I'll catch up. Oh, okay, Feroz. So Paul says, so how do we power it on next time? So yeah, Paul. The thing is, I'm just saying that why it is started is because of the suspend and suspended. But what is the recommendation in training environment? The recommendation is that you can right click here at the end of the class, power, and then so check this, right? Suspend guest. So at the during our training, we can do that when at the end of the class we want to shut down our machine. So better suspend guest, right? And unsuspend. So but the second thing is that sometimes the suspension also does not refresh some of the services in the background. So if it acts weird, then restart your machine. So if you shut down, that's also okay. That doesn't really change anything. It's just that it takes a little longer time to start. Otherwise, suspending or shutting down is a better in a way that all services are refreshed as well. So, but I normally do after installing vCenter, especially I always suspend the server too, because vCenter, when you start again, it takes much longer time to start, while when you unsuspend a very heavy application installed on a virtual machine, so it takes very less time to be in the working condition again. Okay, so Shabina says, sir, for me everything went down the drain. Ouch. The folder itself went. So there's a very technical reason for that, Shabina, and that is your laptop is haunted, right? So that is also one of the very highly technical reasons. So try to dip it in cold water for quite some time while it is turned on, right? So it's powered. Just kidding. Okay, don't do that. Don't do any of that. Okay. So anyway, but hopefully, yeah, you recover from that. No, I mean, like the laptop recovers from that. But if you have to recreate, try. Yeah, you can just go with that template machine. Otherwise, you don't have to really create a template machine. One more thing, Shabina, you can copy somebody else's 4 machines if you want to save time. Well, somebody else could copy and zip it and upload it to Google Drive or something, and then you could just download from there. But you just have to rename. You don't even have to rename. I mean, like, it's not that big deal. But whichever screenshot I asked, that open a just create your domain admin account with your name. But you can do that too, just to save time. Anyone can copy their machines and upload, and you can just add them there, right? Okay. So installing should be faster. Better go for installation from scratch. Better. That's better. It's gonna give you more confidence as well. But otherwise, you can save time that way. Alright, guys. So what we're talking about here is that we are connecting from server 2. I'm connected from server 2 to ESXi2, and there the virtual machine is started. If it is not started, it's okay. If it's started, it's okay. It doesn't really matter whether it is started or not. Second thing is, on the left side I can see navigator here. So this is the navigator. If I click that, so hopefully you're seeing this view right now. Himan says in chat, okay, thanks Khaled for like this work this weekend. I enable Hyper-V for Docker, so it was conflicting with Workstation. Oh, hey, what were you doing Docker with? Did you do it for AWS class, Himan? Okay. So yeah, but Hyper-V for Docker is a really important skill, guys. You must all understand and you must all learn it, right? So okay, guys, here let's go ahead and thank you, Khalid, for helping. So okay, here now we need to go to the storage as well. So we have selected the virtual machine on the left side. Then we can click the storage here as well. Let's click the storage, and you can see that there's one data store here. And that data store we talked about already, that it's it's a partition on the drive, on the physical drive, physical hard disk, the SSD or HDD, and that it is right now it is formatted with VMFS. So we talked about here as well, local physical. This is the local physical disk on top of which you have a data store. So this all blue thing is data store that is on top of a physical disk, right? And it is formatted with VMFS, VMware file system, right? So all this is done on storage. Now physical disk cannot be seen by a virtual machine directly, but after it is formatted with VMFS and the data store, it is partitioned with the data store is created on top of that, then only virtual machine can see a storage and use a storage, access a storage, right? And you also saw that we use the data store to actually save our ISO, Windows Server 2016 ISO as well. So this means that on the data store you can actually create a software folder and you can just place any software that may be required later for the virtual machine. So that's the significance of the data store, and that if it is formatted with VMware file system or VMFS, then you can use all the advanced features of VMware, which are HA, DRS, FT, vSAN, and all other features, right? So that's first thing. Second thing that we try to see here is if I just go to the from server 2, I'm connected to my ESXi2 hypervisor and I'm inside there. So there's that data store. We went inside the data store browser. We created a folders last time as well, the software folder, right? So if we go further down here, there's a networking here, right? So there's networking, and that networking has add port group. There's a port group, and then, so first of all, it's a port group tab here, and then there is virtual switches here, and then there is physical NICs here, and then VM kernel NICs, TCP/IP stacks, and firewall rules. So that's networking side and networking side. So if I just go back to the diagram here, what happens is that you get a virtual standard switch installed in every hypervisor. Suppose that's a virtual standard switch here. So that we can just refer to it as VSS, or virtual standard switch, right? So that virtual standard switch has two major components, and that are, one is port group, and the second is VM kernel port. VM kernel port, right? So the port group, what is the purpose of a port group inside virtual standard switch? So the purpose of port group is to connect VMs together, to connect VMs to each other, and to outside world, right? Outside network, we can say. So port group's main purpose or only purpose is to let the virtual machines connect together. You can connect 128 virtual machines to a port group. You can create many port groups, one port group for sales department, one port group for marketing department, one port group for admin department, or you can either department wise you can distribute the port groups, or you can distribute the port groups by teams or by anything, right? Maybe SQL Server port group and only SQL Server virtual machines are there, or file server port group and only file servers are there, or one port group connects 10 virtual machines, and those virtual machines are for that production environment, and then you create another port group that is for test environment only, so only test machines are connected to that port group. So port group's main purpose is to connect virtual machines to each other so they could share files and folders, files and printing, and to connect to outside world as well, outside network. So that's the main purpose of port group. We're going to go in depth with port groups when we go for the standard switch lab there. Then we're going to do a lot of checking inside what is port group when we have installed vCenter. The main purpose today would be let's go for vCenter. So right now, the other most important thing of a virtual standard switch, so what is VSS? Again, it's virtual, and that's going to come in your quiz as well. I'm going to make that quiz as brutal as possible. Thank you very much. You'll really appreciate that. Okay. No. So yeah, the thing is, whatever we are talking here in the exam, in the exam it will come. So whatever we are talking in the diagram, whatever we're doing in the class, and I'll be uploading a lot of slides there, so for reference there, and it will be an open book quiz, but you will have 1 hour, and you have 25 questions, right? So the thing is that whatever we are talking about here, the quiz will be talking about all those topics there, right? So, and will be mostly, as my habit is, I just go for true false because they are the most confusing. Okay, anyway, so yeah, VM kernel port. Now what is that? So first of all, port group to connect virtual machines, we get that, right? So what is VM kernel port? To introduce networking for advanced features. So what does that mean? To introduce networking for advanced features? Really? What does that mean? So I'm just gonna put that in the OneNote, and so here, yeah, that's where we're talking right now. So VSS, a virtual standard switch, and there's a port group there, and that's what we were talking about. Sorry. Okay. So then VM kernel port to introduce networking for advanced features. So if we install vMotion, if we configure, suppose vMotion, what is vMotion? It's a migration of virtual machine from one hypervisor to another hypervisor. If we configure vMotion, then VM kernel adapter configures the networking side of this feature, right? So this is the same for if we go for like there is vSAN, there is I'm talking about advanced features now where VM kernel port is involved. So vSAN, then there is FT, then there is the replication as well. So and storage related. So these are some of the advanced features, especially the management network feature. So for all these advanced features, VM kernel port makes available the networking configuration of all the advanced features, right? So that's so Khalid is asking. So Olufemi says, what is FT? Oh yeah, FT is fault tolerance. We're going to do a full lab on that. Tolerance, and it is about active VM on one host, and it's standby VM on another host. So if one host goes down, then the other host becomes. So if the active VM host goes down, then it fails over its services to the standby VM on the other host, and standby becomes active. So that is fault tolerance. So then there is, we can have active as well. Active passive, active. We can have both. And Khalid says vMotion is live migration tool. Yes, exactly. vMotion, there are many types of vMotion. There is live migration. There is migration when the machine is stopped. There is suspended migration as well. So yeah, but it is vMotion is live migration tool. Okay, so and fault tolerance, Sandeep says, Khalid says active. Yeah, okay. Alright guys, so we're talking about that. What are the standard switches features or main features there? One is port group, and the second is VM kernel port, right? There is no VM journal port, there is no VM lieutenant kernel port, or there's no VM major port. There's just VM kernel port, right? Okay, so here's port group and then VM kernel port. And the other thing that we need to talk about. So first of all, you see there in the port group that you have one port group, and the default port group is always known as VM-network. Default port group, which helps connect virtual machines, is always known as VM-network. So what is the proof that our virtual machine is connected to this port group? As I'm saying, yes, port groups are there to connect virtual machines. So our virtual machine that we created in last class, is it connected to this port group that was created by default in the virtual standard switch? So I'm going to go to that virtual machine, and let's just check it out. That if we go to the virtual machine, mine is not connected. Well, where did you check, Kavita? So how can I connect the virtual machine to the port group? It is already connected by default. So that's what I'm showing here, that if you go to the virtual machine and then right click on top of the virtual machine here, whether it is on or not, I'll just turn it off. So yeah, we'll will all have it together. I'm just going to power it off. It doesn't have to power on. It can be powered off. It's okay. So I'm going to right click on the virtual machine here, and then you can go to edit settings of that virtual machine, right? Once you click edit settings, so it's going to show you the network adapter connectivity. This is the network adapter. So I right click the virtual machine, then I went for edit settings, and you can see here network adapter is connected to VM network. So that's the name of a port group that is by default created when the virtual standard switch is created. And when is that virtual standard switch created? When you install hypervisor the first time, the virtual standard switch gets created and the port group gets created by default. So any virtual machine you create now will automatically connect to this port group, which in turn connects to a virtual standard switch, which in turn connects to the physical network card. So I'm just going to draw that quickly now. So this is suppose this is a VSS or virtual standard switch. So you would by default have a PG here, right? So PG is a parental guide. No, actually it's a port group. And then this port group, you can create port group 1, port group 2, port group 3, port group 4. The only purpose of port group is to connect VMs together to each other. So let me just draw that too. So how does it look like when the port group, suppose you have two VMs here, and I create that triangular samosa like shape. That this is a network card. This is a virtual network card. And so what happens is that you have connectivity from the virtual machine's network card to the PG port group. That's so virtual machine does not connect directly to a virtual standard switch. It connects to a port group. Virtual machine does not connect to a physical network card. Suppose there's a physical network card here, right? So I'll just try to create that. There's a physical network card here, suppose, right? Physical NIC. I'll just put it. Oh, let me just create it now. Physical NIC, and then I'll just give you some rules of thumb here. So that's physical NIC, right? So that physical network adapter, network interface card. Now again, the rule of thumb is virtual machine only sees port group. It does not see or directly connect to a virtual standard switch, and it does not directly connect to a physical network card. It only connects to a port group. The port group gets connected to the virtual standard switch. The virtual standard switch in turn is connected to a physical NIC. So you can also create a virtual standard switch that is not connected to a physical network card. So in that case, virtual machines can communicate with each other, can share files with each other, but cannot talk to the outside world. So physical NIC connects to a physical switch outside, right? So how can virtual machines then connect to the internet or to a virtual machine in this hypervisor, which is, well, across the network now, right? So obviously your virtual standard switch has to connect to some physical network card. So it is connected to this physical network card, and physical network card connects to the virtual standard switch. Virtual standard switch has a port group. Port group is connected with all the virtual machines, right? So that's how all the components are connected to each other, and that's what we need to understand. Now suppose you have 4 physical NICs. Now when you buy when your company buys a HP, IBM, or Dell physical server, they would have 4 network cards or 8 network cards or 12 network cards, whatever, or 16 network cards, right? Suppose you have 2 network cards or 3 network cards or 4 physical network cards, then yeah, one virtual standard switch can connect to one to 2 network cards as well, 3 network cards as well, 4 network cards as well, right? Okay, so there are some comments there. Sandeep says, so 128 ports is for the VSS and is PG like VLAN. Now, port group also offers VLAN as well, right? That's one thing. Second thing, 128 ports are connected to the virtual standard switches port group. So 128 for this, you create another port group here, 128 for this, you create another port group here, 128 for this. The main thing is that you will not connect so many machines to one virtual standard switch, because you will need a lot of bandwidth then, right? So we're going to do a best practice, industry best practice. Whenever we introduce a advanced feature, we will be actually creating another standard switch for vMotion. Then we will create another standard switch for fault tolerance advanced feature. Then we will create another standard switch for the vSAN. So the thing is that you can connect all the virtual machines here, 128 plus 128 plus 128. But the thing is, then you must have more network cards, so you can make a NIC team out of those network cards. When there's a huge traffic coming through this virtual standard switch, it would still be divided. The inbound outbound traffic should still be divided among these network cards here when you create a NIC team out of that, right? So okay, then there are more comments here. So Brahim says 4 ports in DL380 G89. Okay, so there are 4 network cards, you mean? But we can order, like suppose you're purchasing a server, so you can tell, suppose you're purchasing from Dell, so you would call the Dell guys or HP guys that, hey, I want 8 network cards. So they will just increase the price a little and they will add 4 more network cards. Or you want 16 network cards, you can do that too, right? So Olufemi says that what is the maximum physical NIC to one VSS? Well, that I have to check that out myself, how many physical NICs, but what number of physical NICs you can have on a physical machine? I think 12, most maybe 16, maybe 32 as well if it's a big machine. So yes, all 32 can be connected to one standard switch as well. So then there is Paul says, so FiNIC enables VMs to connect to the internet. Yes, and virtual switch connects VMs to other VMs on another server. So that needs to be talked. So suppose I remove this connection here, right? So this connection is removed. So virtual machines are connected to each other because of the virtual standard switch, but they cannot communicate. They cannot connect to their physical network card, because suppose we did not connect the virtual standard switch to the local physical NIC on this server. So how can it go outside, then connect to the physical NIC? Obviously there will be a physical NIC here as well, right, on this server, and this is also connected to a physical NIC. So these two guys, the physical NIC on ESXi1 and physical NIC on ESXi2, these two guys have to be connected to a physical switch, right? How else they can connect? Oh, you want to connect it through a Cat 5 cable, or what was that? Straight forward cable, and what was the other type of cable? Very simple thing right out of my mind. Cross cable, exactly. You want to do that, but in professional environment we don't do that. Thank you, Sandeep, for that. So you have to have a physical switch outside with which your physical network cards will connect, right? So without your virtual standard switch having a connection to its own local physical network card, the virtual machines up there cannot communicate across another physical server. If the virtual standard switch has to be connected to the physical NIC. Physical NIC has to be connected to a physical switch. Physical switch has to be connected to the physical NIC again on the other server. And then the same story goes again, that this physical NIC has to connect to this virtual standard switch, and the port group connects to the virtual machines here. So through outside connection, without outside connection, no, they cannot communicate with each other. Okay, so then there's a question here from Anthony. Can one VSS connect to more than one NIC? Yes, Anthony, they can. And yes, that's exactly what we're about to do. We're gonna do later that we're gonna do a NIC team, and we're gonna connect 2 physical network cards to one standard switch, and we're gonna make a NIC team out of that. NIC team, what's the purpose of that? That you can have LBFO, right? You can have LBFO. Anyone knows what is LBFO? It's not LCBO, it's LBFO, right? Anyone knows what's the LBFO? Load balance failover, right? LB, load balance failover, exactly as I said. So it's we're gonna do Nick team for that, yes, and we can technically, yes, we can. And then there's vMotion. Do vMotion need physical nicks? Khalid, yes, they do need. Now you owe me 5 samosas because you said that. So I'll send you my home address, and please do spray them very well with a sanitizer. Just kidding. Ew, what's wrong with me? Ugh. Okay, anyway, so the thing is, vMotion without a physical. What was the question? vMotion without separate physical link. So without separate physical link, without physical link, vMotion is not possible. So that's the answer. But we're gonna do a full lab on vMotion. We're gonna do vMotion 3 or 4 times, so you're gonna know in depth what is vMotion, right? Then Brahim says, if we disable the physical NIC in our laptops, physical NICs, the VMs still enable to connect to each other. Well, you can try that, but they, physical connection has to be there. But we're talking about the training environment, right? If it was outside environment, then I would say no, they can't. But in here, you can just right click here and just try to disable that and check it out. In training environment, I didn't try that, but they should not, right? So, okay. Okay, these are all the questions. So we understand that this is how the virtual standard switch exists by default when you deploy a hypervisor. When you deploy a hypervisor, data store for the storage gets installed by default, and virtual standard switch for networking gets installed by default. So networking and storage are arranged by default when you install a new hypervisor, right?
So, like one VSS per hypervisor, or we can create more VSS.
Oh, we can create 6, 7, 8, 10, 20, 30. We can create as many VSS.
By default, there will be one VSS,
Yes,
and there will be one port group.
Exactly. By default, one port group, one VM kernel adapter, one virtual standard switch, which will have these two, 1, 1.
Okay, so and this VSS is only for connecting the port groups to outside world, or is there any other purpose
There's a
as well?
long list of features there. It offers load balancing, it offers security, it offers VLAN. So we're going to spend one full class on V standard switch. This is just an introduction.
Okay, so thank you.
Welcome. Okay, guys. So here we talk about that how the virtual standard switch really connects the virtual machines inside virtual machines to outside world with the help of physical NIC here. If I go back to the environment here, so what we were trying to see was network adapter is connected to VM network, and that's the port group that is created inside default port group that gets created inside the virtual standard switch, and that virtual standard switch is now connected to a physical network card. In our case, it's still a virtual because it's a Vmware Workstation environment. It's a nested virtualization environment. I'm going to cancel out from here. And I'm going to go back to networking here, where VM network is showing. Now, second thing is management network. What is that? Management network is actually a VM kernel adapter. So remember that VM kernel adapter offers networking for any advanced feature, right? VM kernel adapter offers networking for any advanced feature. So what is this VM kernel adapter doing there? So we did not deploy any advanced feature. So what advanced feature got installed right just now when we installed the hypervisor? So management network is that advanced feature which is letting us remotely connect from server 2 to the hypervisor 1, server 2 to the hypervisor 2. If you just remove that management network VM kernel adapter or VM kernel port, we can also say port here. So this means then you won't be able to make a remote connection or remote management of the hypervisors as well. So again, if I just type here that when we talk about VM kernel adapter and VM kernel adapter configures that one. So this is, we're talking about VM kernel adapter, and here we can say that by default one advanced feature got installed for us already when we installed the hypervisor, and that is management network VM kernel port slash adapter, you can also say adapter, is already available in ESXi host or hypervisor, so we could remotely connect to the host and manage it. So without this advanced feature, we won't be able to remotely connect and manage it. So management is ESXi management, exactly. So it's ESXi management, and that's what it is for. So by default, you got one port group, so virtual machines can connect. You got one VM kernel port or adapter, so you could actually remotely connect to the hypervisor and manage it, right? So you have 200 hypervisors. They all will have one VM kernel port or VM kernel adapter that is introducing an advanced feature called management network. That is called management. So if I go back there, this is that management network. So it has to be there, otherwise we cannot remotely manage it over the network. And if you go for virtual switches, the other tab here, then you can see there's vSwitch 0. So vSwitch 0 gets installed by default. So the count starts from 0, right? So later we're going to connect, we're going to create vSwitch 1, vSwitch 2, vSwitch 3, vSwitch 4. We're going to keep on creating vSwitch, and I'm going to explain why we're doing that. First, we're going to play with that, then there will be a purpose for creating so many virtual standard switches there, just to follow some best practices, right? Then there's one virtual switch, and it has one port group and one management network VM kernel port, right? So that's what we know. And then physical NICs. So we all see one physical NIC. So what is a physical NIC called? VMNIC 0. So ESXi hypervisor just calls its physical NIC as VMNIC 0. That's it. Although we know it's a virtual NIC, but in a training environment, yes, it thinks it's a physical NIC. So the thing is that we're gonna be adding 9 more physical NICs here, VMNIC 0 up to VMNIC 8. So that will be total 9 physical network cards. Why 9 more? Because we're going to introduce advanced features. So if I go for suppose vMotion, now this is getting too messy here, so I'll just go for another one. And we have 4 machines here, virtual machines here. So in that case, if we want to have this physical NIC, so why would we want to have 8 or 9, total 9 physical NICs here? So the reason would be that we will introduce an advanced feature. Each advanced feature, we're going to give a separate virtual switch and 2 physical NICs. So what is the purpose of that? So suppose you want to go for vMotion here, right? So if you want to go for vMotion feature, so already, let me just create that quickly, that why would we need 9 network cards. Why we need, it's not that we need, we're just going to install that 9 NICs, right, on both ESXi01 and ESXi02 only, not on server 1 and server 2, right? On ESXi. So why? Because the first, suppose this is the first standard virtual standard switch, that will be responsible for the basic communication. So you would have 2 NICs for that, right? So it would be we just have 1 NIC right now, but we're going to create 2 NICs. Why 2 NICs? Just for best practices. Why? What is the best practice for that? Best practice is that you would connect a virtual standard switch to 2 NICs so they could offer you LBFO. What is LBFO? We just talked about it. Load balancing and failover. So it's going to be NIC team. If one NIC goes down, the other NIC will keep the show running, keep the traffic running. So that's why each virtual standard switch We're going to connect to 2 physical NICs. Now this is the vSwitch 0, right? So vSwitch 0. This is vSwitch 0, right? And we're going to go for 4. No, okay. So we're going to go for another one, which is vSwitch 1. I'm just giving you an explanation here why more than one switch is good. It's just for best practices. So, and we're going to have, because we're going to have 9 total network cards here, so this virtual switch will have its own 2 network cards, right? So this virtual switch will have its own 2 network cards. Why? Because if you have, let me just explain that, then I'm going to take your questions as well. And suppose there are lots of virtual machines, lots and lots of virtual machines. Well, according to your hardware, obviously you can have that many virtual machines, and those virtual machines, if you connect them all to one switch, then obviously whatever traffic is coming and going for the virtual machine is being redirected to one switch. But what if we have 2 switches and each switch has 2 different network cards, right? So in that case, these 2 virtual machines are connected. Suppose these are 2 SQL Server machines, and they are importing, exporting a lot of data, huge data. So instead of connecting 4 machines that import and export a lot of data, or inbound outbound data is huge, why don't you create 2 virtual standard switches and connect them to 2 different network cards? So the bandwidth will be, first of all, lesser now. Second thing, that there will be 2 network cards, so if one goes down, the other one, there will be load balancing. They will balance the traffic for these 2 huge applications there. And second thing, if one goes down, the other one can still keep the show running. So that's why we're going to add 8 more network cards now, so we could actually create our environment with best practices. If it's possible in your production environment, do it. Otherwise, yeah, at least you would know that, oh yeah, we can do that too. And why should we send all the traffic to one virtual switch, and these 2 poor network cards will only handle that? Why don't we just separate that with another switch? Because we have more network cards. If you don't have more network cards, well, then you're stuck, right? If you have more network cards, then go for best practices here, right? Okay, there are some questions there. Why not on server? So Paul says, why not on servers? Yeah, you can put more network cards there. Yes, we can, but our main purpose is that vMotion only works on hypervisor, right? The advanced feature. Fault tolerance will work only on hypervisor, and whatever works only on hypervisor, we're gonna implement it with best practices, right? Okay, so then Brian says, I remember in my previous job we had one for private network of failover, and the second for DMZ, demilitarized zone, and third for LAN. The fourth one I don't remember. Okay, very good. There you go. So that's very good. So we're gonna go for best practices in our training environment to understand that we can actually reach this best practice here. So why not you then recommend this in the interview, and then obviously you implement that in your production environments as well. So that's why we're gonna add 9 network cards, or add 8 more. So that would be something that we need to do ASAP, right? Before we introduce vCenter, we're today going to install vCenter, the big application, and we're gonna make sure that everyone does it. It's gonna take forever, but we're here forever as well. Oh, just kidding. So yeah, it's gonna take like 45 minutes up to 1 hour to install that big application, and we have to be very, very careful how to do that. I was trying to be French now. It's R is in French, right? Anyway, so then there's VM kernel NICs here, and that's just one VMK0 or VM kernel adapter. I was telling you that there's one advanced feature already introduced by default in hypervisor when you installed it. So that is management network. So there's a VM kernel NIC that is attached, which is used to offer networking for advanced features, right? So then there's TCP/IP stack there, which is just there's a vMotion stack. So this means that there will be a protocol, TCP/IP protocol, all rules for TCP and UDP traffic going and coming, and all set of rules that are inside the full protocol of TCP/IP will be dedicated for vMotion. You can dedicate for vMotion or provisioning just to deploy virtual machines, or just for the default TCP/IP, which is just handling the network traffic. But when we come to vMotion, then we're going to talk about it again. And then firewall rules are here. You want to stop some traffic, you want to block some traffic, you want to allow some traffic to go fault tolerance has not been introduced yet, but you can allow block that as well. Normally it is by default. So there are some securely you want to connect to that. So there are some firewall rules for that. So by default, some services or daemons, as we say, services or daemon are already started, and some they're not introduced in the network, but they are there if you want to use that. Web access, if you have a virtual machine with the web server there, port 80, HTTP only, so you can just have those as well, right? So 443 is also supported with vSplit client if you have that client. So, well, firewall rules are there, and that's monitoring. If we go back to storage here, guys, okay, so Firoz says, please excuse me, need to fix host OS, Bsod. Oh, okay, Firoz, good luck, man. Okay, Bsod, yeah. Alright, guys, so here, so storage, and in the storage, we have adapters here, right? So one thing about adding network cards or adding a new disk, you can add a new disk. Suppose there's only one disk here in E6i2, right? So there's only one disk in E6i2, right? So suppose I ask you, hey, let's add another disk here to E6i2, 200 GB, one more disk, right? Or maybe you go to Dell, or maybe you go to data center and you just add one more disk. So for storage, there are storage adapters that detect a new disk. They are connected to the storage controllers in the physical server in the background. Here it's virtual. So they connect, they detect, they scan a new disk. Suppose it is started, hypervisor started, and you add a new disk, right? Now if I just go for adding a new disk to HP server, suppose, well, just putting that, and then go for images. So you're adding a new disk. These are the disks. Normally many of you may have seen that already and done adding as well, but this is a guy is just taking out the disk or putting it this. Now this is a blade actually, but just putting out, this is blade is small server. I wish I had in my last job in the bank, the blade was just sitting there, this small machine, but it needs a chassis to actually work. But it's just a very small server that you can just use. It's very powerful, it's very expensive, but this is not what I was looking for. Hey, is there a picture for a guy installing a disk? Are you kidding me? Adding a disk and there's no picture over the whole internet. So yeah, it's my, so anyway, the disk is added just like that, but this is a blade server anyway. So the thing is, once you're putting a disk, suppose this server is powered on and you put a new disk here. So the good thing is hypervisor detects it, you don't have to restart it. If it's a server and you put a new network card, obviously, okay, the question to you right now is, can we add a network card while the server is powered on? Can we add a network card without while the server is powered on? Did you ever do that before? Ever saw that before? Should be powered on first name VM01 now. Oh, Paul is asking, should we power it on? Well, Paul, if you're saying that should we power on the VM01, so oh, okay, that is your first name VM01. That is inside the E6i2. No, well, I'll tell you exactly. But right now the question is that have you connected a network card in a physical server, HP, Dell, or IBM, without turning it off? So wow, two say no, two say yes. You're kidding me. So Baba Tunde and Anthony, have you saw or done it that the server is on and you put a network card there? And well, is it safe to do that? I mean, is it allowed to do that? I mean, technically we should power off the server and then put the network card there, right? Yeah, so with network cards, you have to power it off, better power it off. Unless you're using a USB network card, USB to NIC, that's not what I'm asking. Then network card, you have to power off because you're putting it on the main board, motherboard of the server, right? So you can't do that with powered on server, unless, yeah, if it's outside connection and it's USB type connection. Okay, so guys, here we're gonna connect, what we're gonna do, see this, E6i01, E6i02. let's right click on ESXi01. No, hot swappable network cards. Okay, Anthony's saying hot swappable network cards. Hot swappable network cards. So if I go for hot swappable network cards, so there you go. So that's a hot swappable network card. So it enters, or you can just put it inside, just like a disk, just like you can put a disk while the server is powered on. So there's a network card hot swappable. So Anthony, you're right, and that is definitely what you can do. Exactly, hot swappable network card. Exactly, they can be put inside the disk, inside the server, just like any disk that you can put inside while you are your server is powered on, right? So if you're putting these network cards, these type of network cards, yes, you have to power off. But if you're putting these kind of network cards, definitely. So there you go. Anthony's right. So everyone has to give Anthony or send Anthony the samosa that we're talking about. If you haven't tasted it, so your marks will be in samosas as well, right? It's 20 samosas out of 100 samosas, right? What's wrong with me? I mean, I should just come out of it. Ugh. Okay, come on, Amir, come on. Okay, anyway, so but thank you, Anthony, for that. Yeah. So that is Anthony, you're right. So and Amarjit saying we put hot swappable HDD or adapter if our hardware support. Yes, Amarjit, yes. So if our hardware support, then then yes. But it's pretty much looks like that you can just put it. I haven't done that. I have put all the disks in the server while they were on. You must have done that too. But yes, if it's hot swappable network adapter, yes, it's doable. It should be, but we just have to check it out more. Alright guys, let's go ahead and try to check. So let's go to E6i01 here. Okay, so Heman says, but in production environment it is not recommended as this will have a new MAC IP. So that's a yeah. So the thing is, Iman, yes, you can put it after asking for a downtime window there, and on the weekend we would do that because this is a type of change that can disrupt some network environments as well. So definitely, but you don't have to power off the server. Wow, that's a cool thing. You can if it can detect without powering off because it takes time. Although you have taken a downtime window. Okay, so guys, what we need to do now is we need to add 8 network cards to E6i1 and we need to add 8 network cards to E6i2. And I've told you the reason why. The reason is we're going to implement best practices when we deploy another switch. We're going to deploy it with 2 new network cards of itself. Then we're going to deploy vSwitch. So vSwitch 1, suppose we will deploy for vMotion. vSwitch 2, we will deploy for fault tolerance. And we will create a separate switch and its 2 other network cards. So whatever traffic for vMotion will be coming, it will only coming to which is 1 and then to its 2 network cards. So this means all the bandwidth is available for just the vMotion traffic. This means that if you can have more network cards per hypervisor physical machine, then go for best practices by VMware, right? So give it its own separate network and traffic, right? So that's very good. But so let's go ahead, guys. What we're going to do and see this only on E6i1 and only on E6i2, we're going to add 8 more, making it total 9 network cards now, right? But the main thing is after you add the 9 network, you add the 8 network cards, making it total of 9. So then we will have to restart the hypervisor for the network cards to be detected, right? So Paul says, off your cam, you're trying to distract. Okay, so yeah, there was a message to someone else to turn off the cam. Okay, so let's go ahead and there E6i01 here, right? So I'm just gonna right click on E6i01 and let's do that, guys. Let's add all you need to add 8 more network adapters. So I'm just gonna write here let's so we're talking about network, right? So in network, let's add 8 more NICs to ESXi01 and ESXi02, making it a total of 9 NICs, because 1 NIC is already there, right? 9 NICs. Let's put them all on. Did we put it on NAT or did we put it on VMnet 15? So if we put it on all NAT, we're gonna keep it all on NAT, right? So let's put them all on, on the same so they will all have internet connection as well. That's what I not want. And then they can get, yeah, NAT is kind of, because we have to give a static IP and I want them to be given DHCP IP, right? So
But I think last time we put them all on VM15, right?
did everyone do that? No, right?
At least for few of us where we were not getting the IP.
Yeah, so at the troubleshooting we did. So thank you
Yeah.
for a reminder. But now, definitely we're gonna all put that here. So let's put them all on the same VMnet 15. So guys, we're gonna change the networking of all our virtual machines network cards to VMnet 15. So we will do that after we are done with this task. That we will add 8 more network cards, making a total of 9. Then we're going to change the networking of all network cards on our 4 machines to VMware 15. So we will remove, and you can just follow me after that, what I do first, what I do second. We will not remove, replace VMnet NAT with VMnet 15. So this means that NAT will be removed and VMnet 15 will be in place. So that's what I mean by that, right? So this is why VMnet 15, because VMnet 15 is a private network. VMnet 15 does not connect. VMnet 15 has no connection with internet. It offers private network. Now from the start we had VMnet setting for each virtual machine, and that was a NAT. So we're going to change that to VMnet NAT offers internet. So we don't want internet all the time. If we needed internet, we can at that time temporarily we can add a second network card and we can get internet. So we're going to do that all together. You just follow me what steps I'm taking. Just carefully follow that. Don't be confused about what I'm writing here. If it is confusing, just follow me. But we're going to get rid of NAT now, and we're going to have VMnet 15. You can just change it to any VMnet 14, VMnet 13, VMnet 12. It doesn't matter. Okay, so there's a question there. So if any has says that he has already put them on VMnet 15, then you're okay. Those who have all your virtual machines network cards on VMnet 15, you don't have to do what I will do to my machines. But the newer network cards that we're about to add now, yeah, yes, we'll put them also on VMnet 15, right? Okay, Sandeep says, if I'm on NAT, should I change it to VMnet 15? Yeah, well, you want to do it first, you can go ahead. I'll do it in the last. But first or last, yes, we have to change it anyway. Okay, so guys, first of all, let's add 8 more NICs to E6i1. Then we're going to restart this E6i1 because the network cards cannot be detected if you don't restart. So so E6i1 and restart it. Then so just follow me after that. Then E6i2 add all 8 NICs and restart it as well. Making it a total of 9 NICs. Okay, let's do it, right? Yay! Okay, on E6i01, I'm gonna go to right click here. So guys, everyone doing that? Yes. Okay, thank you for that reply. right click and settings. On E6i1, I am on E6i1. So you're not going to add extra 8 network cards to server 1, no way, and server 2, no way. Only you're going to add 8 more network cards to E6i1, yes way, and E6i2, yes way. Wow, I don't think yes way exists. It's a word, it's a thing. No. Okay, so anyway, on E6i1, I have one network adapter which is on NAT. First of all, I'll change that to Vmnet 15, Vmnet 15, Vmnet 15. So I clicked on NAT, I went to custom, and I dropped down this list, and I'm going to Vmnet 15. So simple, right? That's it. So now it does not connect us to internet. We don't want it to be connected to internet all the time, right? So Vmnet 15, now click anywhere else here, and you will see that it's changed to Vmnet 15. Now let's go for add button here, right? We're gonna add 8 more. So let's click add button here, this one. Once you click add button, so this screen pops up, right? Then there is a, what are you going to select there? Network adapter, right? So I hope everyone's there. I think it's not that difficult. So network adapter, once, so you click this add button, then you click network adapter up there, and then you click finito, right? And once you click finito, so automatically by default it comes to NAT. I don't want that, so I'm just going to go to custom, and I'm going to change it to Vmnet 15. Now I'm going to add the second NIC. I'm going to add total 8 NICs now. I'm adding the second one now, and I'm again selecting network adapter, again clicking finish, and again going to custom and drop down and selecting 15 here. So that's the second extra NIC I've added. Now I'm going to go for third one here, network adapter, finish, custom, Vmnet 15, and then fourth, network adapter. So you need to do that on E6i2. So once you're done with E6i1, you need to restart it because otherwise it won't be detected. Okay, so it's Vmnet 15 here, and then I'll go ahead, add again, network adapter, finish, and custom, Vmnet 15 here, add network adapter, finish, Vmnet 15 here. So what are my total here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 more, making it total 9. So total should be 9. So you're adding 8 more, right? Total should be 9. You're adding 8 more. I don't see Vmnet 15 on my E6i. Okay, Himan. So do you see only 3? Like Vmnet 0 and 1 and
Yeah.
Okay, yes, this also happens sometimes. You're the lucky one today. So then VMNIC 1 you can select for everyone.
It's VMNet 1, host only.
Yeah, host only, exactly. So that would be for every machine, like all 4 machines and for 8 NICs here as well.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, network adapter here, and I'll click finish. So I think I have a total of 9 here, and you're gonna see that. Oh, did I put 19 here? So it's 15. So so total of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yay! I'm done. Woohoo! So I'm just going to press OK now, guys. At the end of it, do not click cancel. At the end of it, press OK. There's a O and there's a K, which means okay. Okay. So anyway, in few classes I saw that with amazement that the student said, I don't see any network card there. I just see one. Yes, I added everything. Obviously, then nobody accepts that, but by mistake, instead of OK, the student actually pressed cancel. So I'm gonna press OK now, and once it is okayed here, then I'm gonna restart the E6i1. Then I'm gonna go to E6i2 and add 8 more, connecting them to Vmnet 15, pressing OK, and restart. So I'm just going to restart E6i1 now. Right click, power, and there's a restart guest. Right click, power, there's a restart guest. Like Aziz. Okay, so the first one is gone, or restarting. I'm going to go to the second one and do this boring thing here as well. Settings. And first of all, I'll just change the NAT of the first network card to Vmnet 15. Then I'll go for add network adapter, finish, custom, and Vmnet 15. Add network adapter, finish, custom, Vmnet 15. Add network adapter, finish, custom, Vmnet 15. Add. Okay. Now wake me up when it's done, guys. Custom, Vmnet 15. Add network adapter, finish, custom, Vmnet 15. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more. Add network adapter, custom, Vmnet 15. Add network adapter, finish, custom, Vmnet 15. Yay! Okay, so now it should be 9 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, second one done. So it should, if all are Vmnet 15 now, press OK and then restart. I'm gonna restart now E6i2. Right click, power, restart gas, restart gas, restart gas. So I think the first one is back, while the second one is restarting now. So we will need a screenshot number 1 where we connect remotely from server 2 to E6i1 and go to network side, network devices, and take a screenshot. Then we will connect from server 2 to E6i2 and then connect to networking, then network devices, and take a screenshot of that. So first two screenshots are, when it comes back I'll show you. Oh, here. So I'm on server 2 now. If you're not there, it's okay. I'm just gonna give you a sample screenshot with my name. Obviously you will have to put the screenshots with your name there. So on server 2, I'm connecting to E6i1 root. After it restarts, we just need to have a screenshot of 9 or multiple network cards. That's all. Yeah. Okay, restarting. So I'm just giving a sample here. While you're restarting or you're still adding, it's okay. I'll wait. And I will put in
So we need to log in EXI too.
yeah, but just to show the screenshot, we need to log in from both E6i1 and E6i2 to take a screenshot of the 9 network cards.
Okay, sir.
So here, oh, yeah. Oh, it's still on 2, sorry. Yeah, you're right, actually. Now I know what you said. So, oh, I had this password. I think it was not. Oh, I'm connecting to 2. Seriously? Thank you for correcting that. Yeah, so E6i1 I'll connect, which is actually not restarting, while 2 is actually restarting. Your first name ESXI01. Yes, all nicks come under physical nicks. Well, if all are not showing, then if it's full of multiple nicks, that's good enough to take a screenshot and make sure that we your name is showing there. So your ESXI01. Oh yes, guys. Why 15 on VS? Yes, I was gonna say that after realizing that, hey, why am I not connecting? So Khalid has already said that that server 1 and server 2 has their nicks have to be changed to VMware 15 as well. Their nicks are already, for majority of us, are on NAT. If server 2 is on NAT and ESXi1 is on VMware 15, we cannot make a communication. So I'm going to go to server 2 where I'm trying to connect from. So I'm going to go to settings of server 2 where there's only one NIC there, right? So I'm going to go to server 2 and change it to VMware 15 as well. So I was trying without changing it to VMware 15. Different VMnets cannot communicate with each other. Thank you for that. I'm going to change it for server 2 to be VMware 15. Then I'm changing it for server 1 to be VMware 15 as well. 20 samosas. Okay. Yeah. Hey, oh yeah, you already got samosas, right? So, okay. Yeah, so 20 samosas. Really? I have to arrange 20 samosas now. So, if I go to images, so I think in this plate, I think these are 20. I'll try to have, oh, I think they look sweeter. Oh, they look better. Okay, I'll put that and put it on. So 20 samosas for Khalid. So that would be for Khalid. And so it's on WhatsApp now, guys. You can also enjoy. Okay, let's go ahead and try to. Okay, so here, server 1, I'll just change it to VMware 15. I think I did that. I'm just double checking. Yeah, sure. Which server are we signing in onto? So, whichever server you were signing on to before, so I was connecting from server 2 to ESXi1. Then I'm going to connect from server 2 to ESXi2. I need a screenshot for all network cards on both ESXi1 and ESXi2. So, guys, now I'm going to go to server 2 where I was connecting from. I'm going to first connect to ESXi1. Your first name is ESXi1. Because I need a screenshot for that, right? I'm sure I connected it to VMware 15. It's server 2. Guys, make sure server 1, server 2 are also on VMware 15. Serious. You know, by this time, I'll try to connect from ESXi2 to get a screenshot for that, right? So please connect to ESXi1. Go to networking side. Go to physical NICs. Take a screenshot. And then connect to ESXi2. Go to networking. I'm going to show you now. Small physical position 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm in now for ESXi2. I'll go to navigator here on the left side. And there's the networking. And there is physical NICs. This one. So yeah, all NICs are showing. This is the screenshot. I'll create that screenshot so I could show you. Oh man. So please take a screenshot like these. Now this screenshot has my name there. So that's it. So it will be networking physical NICs, right? And this is ESXi2. So take same screenshot for ESXi1. So all NICs on ESXi1 or 9 NICs on ESXi1, 9 NICs on ESXi2, that's the name. So I'll take that screenshot now and put it on OneNote. screenshot 1, that is 9 nicks on your first name ESXi0, in my case 02. So that's the first screenshot. Then I'm going to go to ESXi1, and so the name of the screenshot is screenshot 1, 9 nicks on your first name ESXi, whichever you took, ESXi1, then ESXi1, or 2, then 2. So this is on OneNote, as well as I'll put it on screenshot 1 in WhatsApp as well. 9 nicks on your first name ESXi01, 02 actually. So take a screenshot, and I'm just gonna connect remotely and then do that for the other one as well. Hopefully now it cooperates. First name ESXi01. What is your first name ESXi01? What is wrong with that? Okay, if it's not connecting, I'll go for command prompt admin, and I'll run those two flush DNS commands. So ipconfig slash flush DNS ipconfig slash register DNS. Okay, because I think when we change it to other VMnet, it's not accessing by name. So http:// your first name ESXi01. Oh yeah, now it's okay. Advanced, proceed to ESXi01. Okay, there you go. So both screenshot done for Amarjeet. Okay, and so you're googling ESXi01. Oops, yeah, I don't have internet, but yeah. Here root, and then small ABC, capital ABC, shape 1 2 3. Okay, I'm inside ESXi01 as well, and I'll take that screenshot. So is this done for everyone? So I'll just put that here. Have you also put in that there? Put in, right? That's a very funny word, right? Have you put in this screenshot? So that's why I say put in. Okay, so I'll connect that to, so that's your second screenshot here. Okay, all put in, right? Okay. Why am I still using this? Put in, seriously. Okay, so 9 nicks on screen, so screenshot 2 equals 9 nicks on your first name ESXi01. Okay, that's the second screenshot. Done, right? If it says, can you please show us how we should name the screenshots again? How we should name the screenshots? Guys, how are you naming the screenshots? When you take a screenshot, what do? You save it, and so yeah, if I'm saving it here, I'll go for this save button. See this? Save button in snipping tools. I'll click that, and then I'll name it, right? So just save the screenshot with whatever tool you saved, and then name it as screenshot 1-9 nicks on server blah blah blah, right? So on OneNote, oh yeah, on OneNote, if you're doing that, did you install the OneNote here? Well, you have to, it is, oh, you said okay, this means you're good, right? There are copy button, just click and paste wherever you need. Okay. Yeah, at the end of it, when you download, when you upload it, then paste it in MS Word, and then upload that document. So right now, if you want to open a MS Word, that's okay. Otherwise, at the end of it, or yeah. Well, it's the 6th class, and I think that's the first class question when we are on first class. So how are you doing it last classes? That would be that question then, right? Okay, guys, so let's go ahead, and if it is selected and the 2 screenshots taken. So, oh, Taken 5. That's a very nice game. Okay, so yeah, all the same. So okay, guys. So here, server 2. Now let's get back to let's start that long installation of vCenter. So we're gonna go for that long installation of vCenter. What is vCenter? How do we connect? Why do we connect? Where do we connect? Who, when, why, which, where? So we're going to talk about that. So if we go back to our diagram, there you go. So everyone's enjoying samosas there, right? So that's the easiest way to provide so many samosas. Okay, guys. So here we're talking about yeah, this is one diagram that was just for why we need 9 NICs. So I'll still have to go for one more here. And better I just take those diagrams. Oh, we haven't installed actually this, so that's why. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, I'll create a new set now. So now we need to very carefully work because vCenter is a heavy application. So we need to be very careful. The whole course revolves around the vCenter application. What is vCenter and how do we connect to it? And so server 1 is AD, DNS, DHCP, and later it will be software SAN. It's going to be now very soon that we're going to create a software SAN. And second machine is server 2, which is a member server of Windows. But now we're going to install here vCenter for Windows, right? And then there is that ESXi01, which is your first name, ESXi01, and then your first name is ESXi02. So that's our basic environment right now. Now what we need to do is we need to always obviously plan first that what we are doing, why we're doing it, and how we're doing, right? So I'm just gonna put that in as diagrams as well. See this? Class starts Canada and US time. So there were some US students connected at that time. So, oh, that's it. US student. Okay, so I'll just print that. Okay, so now what we need to do is that we're going to install Windows, vCenter Windows. Now, for that, first of all, this is going to be installed here on server 2. And for it to be installed, we need to have the infrastructure roles of AD, DNS be there. So server 1 will always be up. Now let's make sure that the memory of server 1 is 2 GB. Make sure it is. Second thing is, we're not going to need for the duration of the installation of vCenter on server 2, we will not need ESXi1 and ESXi2 at that time. Why? Because obviously it is being installed on server 2. So shut down temporarily ESXi1 and shut down temporarily ESXi2 as well. Now why that? Because we need all the CPU and memory we need. So here for this is vCenter for Windows deployment we're talking about now. vCenter for Windows deployment info or strategy. Okay, so we're deploying this vCenter for Windows, right? So now here server 2 we need to give as much memory as possible, right? So you can give 12 GB RAM here temporarily, and it could keep on installing then. Now what are the prereqs, and when we start installation of vCenter, you're going to see that there will be new terminology, so we're going to talk about that too and try to understand the inner working of or the structure of the vCenter, the central application that controls the whole virtual environment of VMware. So 12 GB RAM, and we can give it 2 processors, which is actually its prerequisites. When it comes to prereqs, so minimum it needs 10 GB RAM. Minimum it needs 10 GB. We're going to give 12 GB temporarily. So for installation, it needs 10 GB RAM. Later we can give it 6 GB even. But for installation, it will detect that and it will then install if there is minimum 10 GB RAM. So I'll just put minimum 10 GB and hours 12 GB, right? So hours 12 GB. Here, minimum 2 processors, 2 procs, and hours, oh yeah, also 2 procs, right? And then hard disk, minimum is 120 GB required, right? So ours is, I think everyone created a hard disk on server 2 that is 200 GB, but if you did not, don't worry about that. So ours is 200 GB, but we need to actually make sure. So what we're gonna do for the hard disk, suppose some of us created server 2. So everyone server 2 has C drive as 200 GB. How can we know that? So we can go to our virtual machine server 2, and here right click on server 2, go to settings, and I see this hard disk 200 GB. Do you all see that on server 2? Mine is 60 only. Ugh. Okay. So yeah, don't worry then. In that case, we're gonna add a second disk that will be 200 GB. Don't worry. Okay, so yes, Paul is saying, sir, I'm having this funny issue. On server 1, both name E6i1 and name E6i2 works fine on the browser, but on server 2, only name E6i02 works and name E6i01 does not. Okay, so that's what was happening to me as well, Paul. So I ran those 2 commands on server 2, ipconfig flush DNS and register DNS. Try that. Try those 2 commands. What are those 2 commands? Maybe, yeah, connect via IP and check as well, Shabina says. But if by name it's not working, so by IP it must be working, then try by name. And ipconfig flush DNS is one command. ipconfig register DNS is the second one, right? Oh, there you go. So you can try first try with IP, but then try also with flush and register. Alright guys, so I see here 200 GB, but many of us have 60 GB, so that's no issue. So what we're gonna do, let's see and let's plan that together so everyone could install that. So what we're gonna do is, we already have a C drive. So this is the physical disk here, physical disk here, physical disk here, physical disk here, right? So I'll just put those. So phi disk 1, actually it starts with 0, so phi disk 0, and that's phi disk 0, that's phi disk 0, and that's phi disk 0. So we're gonna add here physical disk 1, right? So we're just gonna add a second disk, that's it, right? So if the first one is 60, so make sure the second one is 200 GB, and we're going to install the vCenter on the second disk, right? So this would be phi disk 1, physical disk 1, right? So can we merge the disk? Merge. Well, it's better to have second disk separate. In fact, it's better for the application, and let's not put the application in the disk that has the operating system as well. So especially which disk has operating system, it's not recommended to put any application there. So that's why it's better to have actually second disk. All right, or all wrong? All right. So now we're gonna add a second disk. So let's do that. But and after that, I'm gonna shut down both E6i1 and E6i2. You know how to shut down. Go ahead. Otherwise, yeah, I'll do that. So first of all, on server 2. Oh yeah, we don't have 12 GB RAM, so we didn't do that as well. So obviously first we need to, so if any says please come again, Paul says and if any says, so physical disk 1 will be 140 GB. So we're talking about server 2, right? So on server 2, if we have already here 60 GB or whatever GB, right? So keep it like that, and we're not gonna make any changes in the physical disk 0, right? And physical disk 1 will be 200 GB. So why would you say 140 GB? Oh yeah, so because of this, I think you're saying because of the minimum 120 GB. Yes, if you want to go for 140 GB, it's okay. But if you go for 200 GB, that's better. It is thin provision, so don't worry. It's not going to take any space on your physical disk. It's not going to take any space on your physical disk. Okay, so what are the other? So Paul, yeah, we're adding a second disk, which will be 200 GB. That's what I'm saying on server 2, right? Okay, and I'm looking at the chat. Sandeep says, I have 200 GB in C. Should I add? Guys, if you have 200 GB here in 0, still add a second disk. The best practice for any application deployment is not to deploy it on C drive or on the system partition, we can say as well, where the operating system is there. So this is never the best practice. So everyone, please deploy second disk, even if you have the first disk at 200 GB. Okay, and Jagman says, what if we already have, oh yeah, so that's answered. Okay, cool. So now let's go back. So I'm going to go to server 2 now, and I'm going to add a second disk. That would be 200 GB. So let's do that first, right? How did you add disk 2? Oh, I'm going to be adding disk 2 now, so you can follow. So, okay guys, here, let's go to server 2. I hope you're all on server 2. We're going to right click here on server 2. We're going to click settings. Once we click settings on server 2 here, hope everyone's following, then we're going to go down to add. So let's click the add button here. So once we click the add button, now it's already selected on the hard disk. So we're good with that. Let's click next, right? So it's already selected on the hard disk. So let's click next. Then we're going to keep it SCSI. It's okay. It's a bit speedier, and next. Then we're gonna keep it create a new virtual disk. So obviously it's a new virtual disk, right? So we're gonna keep it like that, and next. Then here is the main thing. Go for 200 GB. It's not hard and fast 200 GB is the rule. It's just that we're just giving enough space here. You can give 400, 500, 1 terabyte, whatever. It's thin provision, so it's not gonna occupy any space. And second thing is single file here. It's not must. I just do it as a habit, so it will become one big disk instead of multiple 4 GB, 4 GB, 4 GB chunks of disks. So anyway, 200 GB written here. Do not check mark this. Do not do that. Allocate all disk space. Don't click here. Why? Because then it's gonna be thick provision, which means that it's gonna occupy all this. It's gonna want this much free space on your physical disk. So do not click this one. So 200 GB and single file. If you've clicked that, that's it. Click next. That's the outside name. We don't need to change that. It's okay. And nothing to do here. Just click finish. Nothing to do here. Just click finito, right? So let's click finito here. And so now I got second disk that is 200 GB. Regardless of the first disk being 200 GB, I still need the second one, following the best practice of deploying an application on a non-system partition or disk. So let's press O and K if you have added the second disk. Right? Let's press OK. Okay, once we press OK here, so that if you go back to our diagram here, so we're good with that. Now we have the second disk here, and the first disk is already there, so that's good. But second disk is here. So that requirement of 120 GB is there. Olufemi says my first disk is NVMe now. The second one is SCSI. Well, the first is, did you choose it as NVMe or it chose itself when it was installing to be NVMe? So if you had the choice, because I didn't see that choice there to select it as NVMe, or if we had selected it as SATA, maybe it would have given us a choice. But if they are both different, that is also okay. It chose itself because my hard drive is NVMe. Oh, okay, that's good. So the second one, you already also created on NVMe, right? So it should have, yeah, it was our choice. But if it's different, it's okay. It's just different speeds, right? Right now, whatever speed your physical drive is having, it's gonna just take that. So it's okay. Now, guys, this is done. Let's go ahead and if the 200 GB is written there, now written or added there. Now, what is the RAM of your server 2 currently? Because we need a 12 GB RAM and 2 processors on server 2, right? So, in order to increase the RAM, yes, we can increase it while the machine is on, but better we still have to restart it because operating system does not detect that still, although it lets us increase the RAM here. So better shut down server 2 and then increase the RAM to 12 GB and also increase the processor 2 processors on server 2. So we shut down server 2, and if you have not already, then shut down E6i1 and shut down E6i2 as well. So I'm about to now shut down server 2, but this is temporary, while E6i1, E6i2 is for longer time until the vCenter for Windows gets installed fully on server 2. Okay, so all of me says, okay, I see the problem now, and VME can't be added while VM is on. Oh, okay, very good. Nice troubleshooting. Cool. Okay, guys, so here, let's shut down server 2, E6i1, E6i2, right? So, and then we'll work on server 2 only until the vCenter is fully installed. Okay, so I'm just going to go to server 2 now, and I'm going to right click on server 2, go to power, and shut down gas. Shut down gas. Shut down gas. And then I'm going to go for E6i1 and shut down guest here as well. Yay! So E6i1, and then I'm going to go for E6i2, right click, power, shut down guest here as well. So E6i1, E6i2, please shut them down, while E6i server 2, we're going to shut down and then change the CPU and memory and turn it on, right? So Paul says, did we make any changes on server 1 earlier? Nope. So server 1, the only thing to confirm right now, make sure it is powered on. Second thing on server 1 is it 2 GB? It has to be 2 GB. If it is not, then shut it down and make it 2 GB memory. In my case, server 1's memory is 2 GB. If in your case, server 1's memory is 2 GB, then it is okay, and keep it powered on. That's server 1. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna go for server 2 here, which is shut down. I know that E6i1, E6i2 are shut down. I'll keep them shut down until the installation of vCenter application on server 2. Okay, so there's then question from Paul. So the only thing we did on server 2 is add another HDD. Till now, yes. And we're about to add more CPU and RAM. Okay, about to. Arthi says, any changes in memory of server 2? Yes, we're about to do that, Arthi. So if server 2 is shut down, let's go ahead and make this 6 GB as 12 GB. Okay, there you go. Ruben has already figured that out, how 12.0 GB can be put in there. So I'm going to click memory here for server 2. I'm going to click memory here, and you can just type there 12288 as Ruben has mentioned. So I'm going to go directly here and 12288 and click anywhere else to check. It's wow, it's a bullseye. Ruben, where to go, man? So Khalid, you can just share some samosas from your tray for Ruben as well. Okay, so I have shared enough samosas on WhatsApp, right? Okay, so here 12 GB RAM, 12.0, so 12288, and that's good. And 2 processors, I think it is already there. If not, make it 2 processors. If it is already there, we're good. Hard disk 200 GB, hard disk 200 GB, so pretty much everything is okay. So 12 GB RAM, 2 processors, 200 GB, 200 GB, 2 disks. Or 60 GB or 200 GB, 2 disks, but the second disk is 200 GB. That's the main thing to understand, right? Second disk is 200 GB, that's all. Okay, so if that is done, guys, then take a screenshot of that. Okay, yeah. So hopefully you have not gone ahead and pressed OK and powered on. if you did, you can still right click and go to settings and still take a screenshot of that. So take a screenshot of this. So about to install vCenter for Windows on server 2. So just take a screenshot of 12 GB memory, processor is 2, and the 2 disks, or second disk being 200 GB. So take a screenshot of that. I'll just take a screenshot of that to show you. So this is the screenshot of server 2. It's not showing server 2 anywhere here. That's not good. So, oh yeah, there is showing at the end here, server 2. So your name must be showing, guys. And 12 GB RAM, 2 processors, second disk 200 GB. That's what we need to see in the screenshot. So I'll just copy that and put it on OneNote as the third screenshot. So screenshot 3 equals screenshot 3 equals yeah, configuration of server 02 for vCenter deployment, or whatever name I gave first time. If you have put in that name, it's also okay. So that's the screenshot name, configuration of server 2 for vCenter deployment. Configuration of server 2 for vCenter deployment. So I'm just gonna paste that screenshot here. So that's screenshot number 3. I'll put it on WhatsApp here, and whoa, started copying that, and it ONK. Now start server 2. Now start server 2. Alright, so let us start server 2. So only start server 2. Do not start E6i1. Do not start E6i2. Just start server 2. Make sure server 1 is powered on. Make sure server Ichi is powered on, and server Ni, start server Ni as well, right? So it's Japanese 1 and 2. Hey, what is 3 in Japanese? Somebody said Sean or on or something. Okay. So server 1 is powered on, server 2 is, server Ni is now powered on, and we're ready to install vCenter. Woo, yay! Woo, okay. Yeah. So, well, okay, we're here now. So, we're about to start the installation of Vmware Workstation for Windows. Oh, did I say that? Yeah, vCenter for Windows. Yeah, that. Alright, so are we ready? Ready? Yeah, I was actually waiting. That's why I was just prolonging the sentence, so somebody should say, hey, it's break time, prof. So, yeah, it's break time. So, no, first the test. Oh, you didn't say break. Sorry. Let's go ahead, guys. And, yeah, we just added. No, first the disk. We just added. It's not there. We need to add it from server management. Exactly. You're right. We need to format the disk as well. Very good. Very good. So, guys, if everyone started server 2, everyone logged into server 2. Thank you, Khalid, for reminding that. And okay, if you're logged in from server 2, you can go to the yellow folder here, or the file explorer of server 2, and in the file explorer you should see this PC. So yellow folder or file explorer inside server 2, and inside server 2 there is only C drive. There is no E drive here. The D drive is there, that is the CD-ROM or DVD-ROM, but there's no E drive here. So we need to have E, right? So that's why we need to format it. So we need to go to disk management and format that, right? Okay, so if you're logged into server 2 like Aziz, then if the server manager is already opened in server 2, then we can go to tools on the top right here to go to computer management. Inside computer management is disk management. There we go. So tools, and then there is computer management, and then there is, so if everyone's there, tools, computer management. So I'm gonna open that computer management now, and on the bottom here, disk management, it should pop up with, if it's not added already, it's not online or it's offline actually. Okay, so disk management, if you're all there, right? Then you see disk 1 here, which is 200 GB. So on the left side, you can see offline here. So let's turn it online. How do we make it online? We right click on top of that, disk 1, and there is online here. Ready? Everyone okay with that? Yes. Okay, thank you for the reply. And right click on online. Second thing is we need to again right click on the same disk 1 area for the second right click, and then it's going to say initialize disk. So how do we want to partition it, right? So first right click online, second right click initialize disk, right? So once you click right click again on disk 1 and initialize, so you see that it says disk 1, you want to go for GPT or MBR. So GPT is grid partitioning table, and MBR is master boot record. So MBR supports up to 2 terabyte disks. GPT supports up to 64 terabyte disks, right? Oh, there you go. 9.4 zettabyte. MBR max is 2 terabyte and it's 9.4 ZB. Zettabyte. Okay, in Hyper-V, when you install that, it's 64 terabyte there, right? So GPT can have more partitions, bigger partitions, and so that's why GPT is for bigger disks, right? Bigger storage. There you go. So 9.4 zettabyte. And if we can keep it on GPT, if you put it on MBR, it's okay. If you put it on GPT, it's okay. For our specific purpose, it doesn't really matter. So ours is just 200 GB, right? So let's press okay. Okay. So, but disk is offline. So Paul, I just did that. Okay, Paul, come here and check this out. Right click and online. Data error. So CRC error. Whoa. I wish there was a screenshot to see that. Where exactly are you getting that? Shabuddin, if you don't see the disk, then you may have added the disk, second disk on a wrong server, right? So Shabuddin, you can go to server 2 like this. If you're seeing my screen, right click on the server 2 and go for settings. And check if you got the second disk showing like this. Maybe you added it by mistake to server 1, right? So you need to add it on server 2. So if you didn't add that, then click add button here, and well, if you want me to show that, let me know. So I'm just gonna, so can I show my screen? Yeah. So you don't have a screenshot thingy? Okay, show. If any. Ouch. Okay, cyclic redundancy check. So when you, so press OK here. Oh. So yeah. So just close. Okay, press OK and then close the disk manager. If any. Yeah, close. Yeah. And then try to open it again. Go to tools. Yeah. Oh, there you go. So press OK. Yeah, it's okay. Initialize. Restart then. Well, that machine needs to be restarted and then try again. 200 GB. I don't. Oh, if any, did you? Can you right click on member server itself? Right click on the machine member server or Vmware Workstation machine and go to settings where you added the disk. Yeah, this one. And settings. one is NVMe, other is 200 GB SCSI. Well, it seems like something to do with if you're selecting SCSI on an NVMe, so NVMe is not liking that. It looks like that. I'm just guessing. Power of the machine and add NVMe. Yes, exactly. Olafem is also saying that shut down. Yeah, then add it as an NVMe. NVMe is not liking SCSI here. So,
okay, let me try that. I'll try that. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just share my screen now and. Alright, so what we need to do is GPT is okay, Arthi. Okay, so what are the other questions here? I think mine is the other way around. Disk 0 of mine is Disco, one of yours. So yeah, power off and re-add it again. Prime says Paul, same as FANE but not getting that error. Oh. Paul, so I'm good. Paul, your second disk is 200 GB. As long as it is 200 GB, then you're good. Disk 1, that is. Disk 0 is 60 GB or whatever, but disk 1 is 200 GB. If that's it, that's it. I mean, like, you're good. All family says you need power. Okay, Arti says MBR GPT. So, Arti, it's GPT. Okay, guys, so we're kind of going ahead now. And so I am just right clicking on the disk 1. We have to make only one partition. Yes, Amarjeet, one partition is okay. Paul, they're both 200 GB. Yeah, you're good, Paul. So disk 1, I'm just going to right click here and initialize disk. And it's going to be GPT, which is okay. And I'm going to press OK. So now I can just make a partition out of that. So I'm going to format that. So I'm going to select on this unallocated area. This unallocated area, I'm going to right click on top of this unallocated area, right? So right click like this, and there is new simple volume, right? So this is on top of this unallocated area. Right click and new simple volume. Then we click next. So whatever size is there is okay. It's 200 GB, so it's okay. Next. It's going to be given E drive as the drive letter, which is okay. E drive is okay. We have to download Vcenter. No, Brahim. Well, I did gave those files at the start. One of those files is has a VIM written there, so that's the Vcenter for Windows. So it should be already there in your machines. If not, I'll try to arrange now. So E drive and then next, so nothing here. And on the volume label, we can put here Vcenter. If you did not put it, it's okay. If you put, it's okay. Both ways, it really is not a big deal. I'm just putting on the label as Vcenter. It's already at a perform a quick format. It's already selected, which is okay. And I'm going to click next. Right? I'm going to click next here. And finito. So yeah, the second disk is now ready to be used, right? Second disk is now ready to be used. Okay, if that is done, then we can start the... So first we have to see that, guys, here, open the yellow folder and check if you see this. C, D, and E. Do you have E? Okay, Donald, where are you? Oh, Donald, you can just click the, Donald, up there, you can click this share, this one. Do you see this button here? I can see your screen, then I can tell you what to do, right? If you want to do that. Otherwise, you can tell me where you are, because what exactly are you doing? Where or which step are you at? Or you can click the share button on the top, so I can tell you. This one. Right? So Donald, Please communicate, come on mic, or tell me what to do. Because I created the disk, how can I tell you now? So I right click where, Donald, do you know how to do this? Do you know how to click the share button here? On the top? Difficult? Calling all Donald here. None? Okay. Oh, there you go. Wow, remote control request. Okay, Donald's requesting remote control for of my shared computer. Okay. I need to. Well, yeah. Then, you need to share, but and I've created the disk again. Okay. What else I can do? So Donald. Yeah. TeamViewer. You have TeamViewer, guys. Oh, not guys. Donald. And Donald, yeah, I need to keep TeamViewer alive on your machine all the time from now on, right? Till then, because the next installations are all complicated. So, give me your TeamViewer. So, guys, once this is done, we can actually launch our. First of all, I need you to have those files available. So, which files am I talking about? If I right-click the settings. So, okay, guys, let me just connect to Donald machine, but I'll stay connected to that machine afterwards. So I could just see what Donald is doing, and we can go ahead all, right? So I'll just quickly connect and then I'll stay connected. Okay, where are we now? Donald, open the Vmware Workstation. Donald, open the Vmware Workstation, or click on Vmware Workstation. Yeah, okay. So all you need to do is just right click here, new simple volume, next, and here I wrote here Vcenter. If you didn't write it, it's okay. If you wrote it, it's okay. Next, finish. So that's all we did. And then I'll click this here, this PC. So this should be showing here, right? So now don't close this. I'll just put it on my next screen so I could see your screen. If you need help, I'll just give it right away, right? Keep it open. Where is it? So guys, we need to connect to our vCenter, and where is that vCenter, right? So I'll just try to so I'm just gonna open that. I'm just fixing that screen for it on my other screen. I'm just making it smaller so I could see your chat as well. Alright guys, so and there's on WhatsApp, this is fine. Oh, where we go? Wow, you guys are helping each other. Very good. Okay guys, so what we need to do now is that oops, okay, so what we need to do now is that we need to, I'm just going to go to server 2. We need to attach the vCenter ISO to the DVD of server 2. We need to attach the vCenter ISO to the DVD of server 2, right? So here we need to attach the vCenter for ISO. Now I'm gonna, yes, Khalid, there you go. So guys, it's on the chat as well. VMware VIM all 6.5, that's it. It's in the chat right now. I'm going to show you as well. Server 2, I'm going to go there, go to the settings. Server 2, I'm going to go there and go to the settings. And then we click CD DVD here. See this? CD DVD. Now guys, once you're on CD DVD, you see these two buttons, these two boxes, connected and connected power on, right? I hope everyone's seeing that. So you need to select both, right? So now we need that VIM.
So can you repeat that once again?
Yeah. So I right clicked on server 2 and then went to settings.
Okay.
And then we went for DVD, and in the DVD we selected these two buttons. Now we're going to give the path of the Vim file, which I'm going to show you, which Khalid has already mentioned the name in the chat. So let's click this use ISO mesh, but make sure guys you have all selected these two checkboxes. It's going to connect, right? It's going to let you access the ISO in the DVD if you select it. Okay, so let's click browse here. No, Femi, it's not 6.7. It's 6.5. So let me show you the file name. So it's Vim all 6.5. Vim all 6.5. Okay, everyone has Vim all 6.5? Everyone has Vim all 6.5? Okay, everyone has that, right? Okay, so, or my question would be, anyone doesn't have it? Okay, so here, Vim all, so double click that file here, right? Let's double click this file. And so make sure these two boxes are selected, and you've selected 6.5 Vim, which is just for vCenter for Windows. If that is selected, then we're good. We're about to start the deployment of vCenter for Windows, right? So let's press OK. Ready? All right. Now what we need to do is we need to go to the yellow folder, or we can click that pop-up here, or we can go to the yellow folder here, and you will see this green orange logo here in the DVD in this PC and the DVD ROM. So double click that, go ahead and double click that, and press the yes. So you should be on this screen, All right. All right, so you can see here prerequisites shows none, right? Okay, everyone's there. That's very good. So now it starts the installation of vCenter Windows. It's going to be a bit longer wizard, but I'm going to try to talk about some of the terminology that is being used here as well. So I'm just going to click the install button now. Let's do that. And it is on Z's page. Let me know when you're all on this page, or anyone not on this page. Let me know as well. It's still opening or it has opened. Okay, so let's click then next. I accept the terms of the license agreement and then click next. Oh, still opening, Sandeep says. So let's read the whole license agreement until it is open for everyone. So it's going to be blah 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 blah. So Ruben is also saying still open. So I'll just keep going blah 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 blah. Oh wow, it's still opening. Yeah, it takes time. Yeah, wait till it starts installation. That's where you can take a long break and we can come back next week actually. No, just kidding. So is it open? Is it open? Oh, okay. So yeah. Oh well. I can explain on. I'm gonna click on next screen, but you should, guys. Those who are still opening, you will be coming here actually. So because we're gonna talk about this architecture of the vCenter for some while. So you're gonna stay here. Yeah, if it's still opening, it's okay. I'm gonna stay on this page until you all are here, right? Okay, and make sure that you did shut down E6i1 and you did shut down E6i2, right? And make sure that video in the background, the CP24 and the YouTube with the cool song, maybe Despacito or something. So that is all closed, right? So make sure that the whole Chrome is closed, because Chrome consumes all the memory, right? Chrome is a nasty. Small problem, Khalid. Okay, first give me back my samosas now, because you were not able to troubleshoot that, right? So just kidding. Yeah, you were saying? My sound keeps going offline. What? Oh yeah, so server. Yeah, so this happens, guys. Suppose your server one or server, whichever server is going offline. So this happens. Khalid, just check on the right bottom. Did you install a trial version? And here on the right bottom in this area, does it say expired? So if it is expired, written here, so right click and refresh here, and if it says expired, then it will shut down every half an hour. So for anyone's Windows machine, if it says expired right above the clock here, then your machine will shut down every half an hour, if it says that. So if it does, then connect it to internet and right click and refresh. Right click and refresh. If it's trial version, it will be activated for 180 days. But if it's going offline, it could be the power setting as well of the virtual machine. My VIM is ISO is not appearing even after restarting. Is not appearing. So Brahim, you have the VIM in your physical laptop, but it is not connecting. Oh, so it is in your physical laptop, but it is not connecting to your DVD. Is that what you're saying? So from DVD, you're not able to see it. Maybe you downloaded it as a zip file, right? So it might not appear as an ISO there. So just try to check the extension. .iso it ends with. So from within DVD, when you go browse, it does not. Oh, okay. Emergency is on same screen, and oh, Khalid says expired. Okay, Khalid, then connect your server 1 to. So add a second network card, Khalid, and keep it on NAT, and stay there on NAT for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, and keep refreshing the desktop. If it's a trial version, it's going to automatically be activated for 180 days. Kavita says I am also on same screen now. Okay, good. So all others are on the same screen, or anyone still it's loading for you. So guys, on this screen, okay. Oh, okay. So it looks like So well, even on this same screen, I need to explain some of the stuff here. Okay, that's good. And that is, first of all, what it says here is that it is embedded deployment, vCenter server and embedded platform services controller. Second is external deployment, right? So there's platform services controller and vCenter here. So what are those two here? And well, I need to, yeah. What are those two here? What is the internal structure of vCenter? So first of all, you can see that there is platform services controller, that is part of the installation, and then there's a vCenter server, that is another section of this big software. So the vCenter software or enterprise grade application is divided into two major sections, and one is platform services controller, PSC, second is vCenter. Now what does platform services controller really do is that it says here vCenter server single sign-on. So it provides SSO first of all, which is single sign-on. So you log in from one username password and you get to use multiple services, right? One service, second service, third service, fourth service. So vCenter provides you with a single sign-on, but platform services controller is the section of vCenter that offers you the SSO or single sign-on. So what does that really mean? Suppose you have a virtual machine, and in that virtual machine you have a vCenter deployed there. So but then you want a separate software for backup. We're going to actually use Veeam, right? Veeam is a very famous application for backup, but that's a third-party software for backup. So once you deploy Veeam there, so Veeam is a separate software, but once you connect to Veeam, connect that to vCenter, so with your username password, you can actually connect to Veeam as well. But better example would be Vim. which is VMware Update Manager. Just like in Windows, we have Windows Server Update Services that updates all the Windows software. So Vim updates all the VMware software. So if you install that and connect to vCenter, then with same vCenter username password, you can connect to Vim as well. So that is called one username password to use different services other than vCenter as well, right? Second thing is that it not only offers the PSC version of the vCenter enterprise application, not only offers SSO, but it offers central licensing as well. So suppose you have a lot of hypervisors here, and on those hypervisors you have virtual machines, you have so ESXi licensing you need to worry about, the vCenter licensing you need to worry about, and suppose you have any appliances. So what is an appliance? A virtual machine with a ready-made software inside. That's called an appliance. So if you have any appliances, so those licenses, so centrally platform services controller section controls centrally the licensing as well of ESXi, vCenter, and all the appliances that you deploy there. Appliances. What's wrong with my spellings? Okay, and then the license is per VM's number or per physical servers. So Brahim says now license is normally per hypervisor. There will be a license you need. You will need per vCenter. You need licensing, and then what version of vCenter you need? Yeah, so you need the vCenter Enterprise Standard. You need Standard vCenter. You need Essentials vCenter. You need Enterprise. You need Enterprise Plus. So these are all the licenses, and for the appliances as well, but not for virtual machines. So virtual machine version will be, suppose your ESXi is 6.5, so virtual machine will also be 6.5. Suppose it's 6.7, so virtual machine will also be 6.7, right? So it's not per VMs, it's per physical server. Yeah. And Shabina asks that, guys, may I request one thing from all? There are too many breaks in the conversation and it is really distracting. Could you hold on to the questions and errors and please let the sir explain the topic concept first? Yeah, so that's also something that because well, we have to talk about so many errors that are coming for everyone, and then but if you am explaining, yeah, then try to understand that, because if we first understand, then we can go ahead, guys. So yeah, good suggestion. So guys, here platform service controllers, first it offers single sign-on, second is licensing here, third is certificate management, and that is so whatever centrally manageable services that needs to be provided are provided by the platform services controller section of the vCenter application, right? So platform service controller is doing that. So then the third thing is certificate management. You can purchase a security certificate, and then that security certificate you need to put it to vCenter, so you could trust when you're connecting to the vCenter, because there's a security certificate there, or from CA, from GoReady.com or digicert.com, you can get that. Or for each hypervisor, obviously you will buy a certificate as well, $200 up to $2,000 for 1 year, and the certificate would have embossed the name, whatever name you gave. Your first name is 6501, your first name is 6502, that's the name of a hypervisor, right? So you can give that hypervisor a name as well. So then there is that these are the three major tasks of PSC, or Platform Service Controller enterprise application here. Then the second portion is the vCenter server. It does the rest of the tasks that need to be done. What are the rest of the tasks? That's pretty much everything else other than single sign-on, licensing, and certificate management. So the rest of the tasks are obviously the storage and the networking and the high availability features of that the VMs and the vMotion, the fault tolerance, the high availability, the DRS distributed. So everything else, day-to-day management and monitoring of the whole environment. There's a built-in monitoring, and then there is a separate huge software called vRealize that also does management and monitoring centrally, but that's a separate expensive license for the monitoring application. But the rest of the day-to-day task for managing virtual machines, its storage, its networking, it's everything regarding the vMotion and all the advanced features. So everything else is done by the vCenter section of the enterprise application. So we need to understand that platform service controller can also be deployed separate in a separate machine if you have a very big environment. Suppose you have 50,000 users or 100,000 users or 200,000 users. So or you have two branches, each have thousands of users there. So one branch, you can deploy two vCenters in that case. One vCenter is enough for like you can say 10,000 machines or 20,000 machines. But if you have two vCenters, maybe you want you have two branches. Because of that, you separated them, or maybe you have that many users there, so that many applications there. So if you have two vCenters, then you can separately deploy a platform service controller. It's going to handle the single sign-on, the licensing and certificate management of all the components, all the resources that you deploy in the two vCenters. Suppose that is in Toronto and that is in New York. So in that case, you can just handle from a central platform service controller. So this you can deploy in on a virtual machine or a host as well, on a hypervisor host, in a on a physical host as well, right? But we're going for embedded deployment here, while this is called external deployment, where platform services controller gets installed on a separate virtual machine or a physical machine, while the two vCenters gets installed on separate machines in definitely separate branches, we can say, or it's a one huge big building and you have like 50,000 users in that one building, and you may need two vCenters for any reason. So the thing is that this is what we need to understand, that is it what is embedded deployment, what is external deployment. For a very big environment, you go for external deployment. For typical, we can't say small, because embedded deployment really works with even thousands of machines there. It works well, but you can deploy both these type of services there in one machine as well. So that's what we are about to do. We're deploying platform service controller and vCenter as an embedded deployment in one virtual machine, right? So I'm gonna print screen that, and I'll put this diagram on. And let's go click next while embedded deployment is selected. I'll have to crop from here as well. Okay, then it's coming to you. So that's the vCenter deployment here under the let's install vCenter, and the explanation there, and yeah, video is running. Okay, so let's go ahead and click here next. So yeah, we're gonna keep this vCenter server and embedded platform services controller there, and click next. And then it's just saying that, hey, what is the system name here? So the system name is server02.humber.local, which is okay. Hopefully everyone's seen that. Or whatever the domain you have, or whatever name you gave to the server2, which is okay. And then click next. So it's just the system name on which vCenter is installed. Then guys, it's asking vCenter server single sign-on domain name. So this domain name is VMware domain name, and it has nothing to do with Microsoft domain name, right? So, but the terminology, Microsoft also calls its network as domain when it installs the Active Directory, and VMware also calls its central application, that is from where the network can expand, as domain. So we're gonna try to, if it is written already here vsphere.local, I can see that it's written here already vsphere.local. So keep it like that. Our domain name will be vsphere.local. And second thing, you can realize that it has already suggested a username. It is administrator. So this is also in Microsoft, the top user account name in Active Directory is administrator, and that's the same thing here. The top user account in vCenter application is also administrator. This is also they have done because many of the Windows administrators have come to learn VMware, so they will see a lot of features similar, a lot of terminology similar. Now guys, next thing is about the password, and you need to be careful now, and I'm gonna put that password here because it's gonna go for a difficult password. So what is that difficult password that you need to put? You can come up with your own, or small abc, capital ABC, shift 123, and without shift 123. So this is called, I'm just gonna call it long password, because we have a shorter version that we're already using, or I am using at least. So for ESXi host, I'm using short password, and that is small abc, capital ABC, shift 123. Until here I'm using for my Windows machine and for the ESXi. But for vCenter, that shorter password is not acceptable, right? So you guys are administrators. You need to be sharp. You need to be ready for multitasking. So you need to be ready for two passwords as well. If we are confused here why there are two passwords, obviously how can we then join a job where you will be maintaining 20 passwords, right? 20 different applications and devices. You have to remember the password or put it somewhere. So for vCenter only, you need to put the longer password. For anything else other than vCenter, you can put the smaller password, or whatever you were using, use that. But for vCenter, you need to go more complicated. It needs all these characters, small abc, so small case, uppercase, special character, and the numbers, right? So I'm just going to use this now, and I would suggest you can use also. If you come up with your own, that's it. Go ahead and use that. Don't forget it, right? So I'm just going to use that long password now, small abc, capital shift 123, but I'm just going to add without shift 1 2 3. I'm just going to accept that. So small abc, capital ABC, shift 1 2 3, and without shift 1 2 3. Simple 1 2 3, right? Not the special characters, right? So there's that domain name written there. There's the administrator written there, and then there is that password. The two passwords here. Well, the two times the password, same password. And again, if you wanna get that, so I'm just gonna put this in the chat. And I'll put that in WebEx chat and then WhatsApp chat as well. So it would be record in the WhatsApp, and then I'll put it on OneNote as well. Then I'll put it on Twitter and Facebook as well, right? So, and okay, so here, let's click next. Oh, okay. You know, we did not change the default first site, but if you wanted to change, you can just put any name here. But since I said that click next, so you must have done that already. So click next, keep it as default first name, it's okay. Now second thing here is use Windows local system account. So that use Windows local system account is there if you have a embedded database. If it is a small installation, if you have a small number of virtual machines and users, and you don't want to deploy a separate SQL server or database server, then you will stick to use Windows local system account, so that small database will be installed on this server too as well. But if you have a big environment, then you would deploy another virtual machine, and that would have the SQL server separately installed there, which is a database server. And then you will click this second option to create a database over the network from this machine to that second machine, right? So it would be, if you are going for this option, so it will be just one single machine, and the DB will be installed alongside with your others. But if this is the option, then you would go for, this is your vCenter, which is a strange one, and then this is your SQL server. So SQL server will have to be a separate dedicated machine, and the vCenter will simply create its database. It has to have connection to this SQL server, and here it will create its database if it's big environment, right? Database. So this is how it works. And if we want to, so we're gonna stick to our local system account here, and we will then go ahead. So I'll just put that screenshot here and crop it and put it. Okay, so let's go ahead and next. So we're going to keep that option there. Obviously, it's still asking, oh, you want to go for embedded database, internal database, VMware Postgres, which is okay. You don't want to go for external database? No, we do not want to go for external database. So keep it as is and click next. Then there are all these ports that is asking that needs to be open. If you had firewalls open, you have to add these ports as exceptions for different services here. Syslog service, HTTPS, HTTP service. Syslog is for collecting log files as well, and token service for all the authentications and session connectivity and session security as well. And then there are extra services there: dump collector, deploy service port, auto deploy service port. Auto deploy is that you can deploy over the network ESXi hypervisor. Suppose you have new physical Dell machines and they are 200, 300 Dell machines, 200, right? Suppose. So how can you install step by step, one by one on 200 machines? So you can deploy over the network as well, the ESXi on all those 200 physical servers in one time. For that, you use auto deploy. So for that, these are the ports. ESXi dump collector is and heartbeat collector. So these are different services. So whatever errors that got created, it will collect that from hypervisors. And heartbeat, it's when you deploy HA, high availability, then this port is supposed to be open. So it could send the I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive packets, right? So then we can check this out. So now these ports are already okay for us to, because we have turned off our firewall, so we don't need to add those exceptions, but they need to be added as exceptions if the firewalls on the operating system level are open. Okay, so I'll click next here without changing anything here on this screen. Then guys, be careful here and do not go ahead of me. So we need to deploy vCenter not on C drive but on E drive. So don't go ahead of me. I'm telling you now, don't go ahead of me. Click change here. I've just clicked the first one. Click the first one, change, and then don't do anything else. Just click this as E. Just change the C as E. Do not change that folder structure. Do not change that folder structure. Just change C to E and press OK, right? If you missed it, I'll click that again. Change. This is the same thing we're going to do here as well. So change and then go down to C and just change it to E, because your new drive is E drive, not D drive. D drive is DVD-ROM, right? So it's E colon and press OK. Right? Then we're going to go for change here for the second one, and then we're going to click E here as well. So that's all. You don't have to change the folder structure. If you did, it's kind of okay. It's just going to be confusing for you later. So better not change the folder structure. Just change the drive letter from C to E. If you have done that, then press O and K. So it should look like this now, right? And it's E drive here, and I click next. Okay, so join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program, uncheck that, and click next. And yeah, so see you on the other side of the lake or ocean. Let's click install. So that's gonna take forever, like a bit longer time.
That's why I was just disconnected. Can you repeat this?
What I described, can I repeat how?
I was just disconnected.
You're disconnected.
So just to change the directory only.
Oh yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, we just need to change the drive letter. If you know how to share your screen here, I can see your screen and I can tell you. If you click that share here, or you can give me a team viewer and I can connect to you. So guys, that's vCenter deployment. That's gonna take some time. If you want to have some kind of break, yeah, this is the time for that.
Now currently I'm in change current directory.
choose a directory from here. Just
So yeah,
click on V, right? And vcenter E.
yeah, you're in change current directory. So if you see C, do you see C? Yeah. So
C, C and E.
yeah. Oh,
Click on
yeah.
E, right?
So yeah, I was just kidding. So till 9:10. Okay. Alright, guys. So Shabuddin, well, I wish I could see your screen, but you can change the C to E
Yeah, E. Okay.
for both change buttons there. Change C to E.
Okay, okay. I did it.
Alright.
Thank you.
And then next. So guys, it's a break till 9:10. 8:59, 9:10. So it might be finished in by 9:30 or 9:40. But we need to log into vCenter after it is done. Hopefully it is done without errors for everyone. Okay, so see you at 9:10. Still on its way. Anyone done? Or anyone ahead of me? You know, you're not supposed to. It's going ahead. Wow, Kavita is done. Okay, that's -10, Kavita. Well, that's the temperature. Oh, no, that's outside temperature, yeah. So, just starting Olufemi. There you go, Olufemi. +10. Okay, so +10 is the temperature outside. And under processing. Okay, well, I'm also under processing, so just starting Badr. Okay, there you go, +15 actually. No, but then Olufemi and Badr both get +15, right? Temperature outside. Okay, so wow. So there are some who are done as well. That's very good, guys. Okay, so it's about to finish for me as well, I guess, maybe. Okay, so there's that question by Baba Tunde. So, is there recommended text for vSphere 6.0? Yes, Baba Tunde, that's what I think on day 1 I showed there. And guys, you were able to log into that yeah, on the hub, right? That link on on the hub. So E dot on the hub. No, it was E5 on the hub. E5, and hopefully that's for Humber. Yeah, there it is. And normally it's in the E text and oh, I'm logged in. Cool. So the e-text that would be recommended is actually two: VMware vSphere Optimize and Scale 6.5 and VMware vSphere Optimize and Scale 6.7. These two are well, these, but what would really give you VMware vSphere install, configure, and manage? So ICM, that is also good. So first I said optimize and scale, but that comes when you have already a working environment there, right? So then how do you optimize a working environment and scale it? But before that, what we are doing actually now is install, configure, and manage. So, well, these are all here for 1 year for you. So you can first start with vSphere 6 install, configure, manage 6.5, then vSphere install, configure 6.7. So what you could purchase now is this, but then go to this as well, or you can just purchase directly this vSphere install, configure, manage 6.7, because we're going to go there as well. We're going to install that as well, but and we're going to check the comparisons as well. So it's not free, it is heavily discounted. How heavy? It's $28, otherwise it would have been, I think, more than $100, but they have made it available for $28. You cannot print it, you cannot save it as a ebook or PDF. It opens in a application called TextCDM, and you have to open that application and log into these credentials. So as long as you have credentials for this, you can just read that book. Yeah, it's 25. Okay, Kavita says 25. So vSphere install, configure, manage. My recommendation is either you go for this, but you're gonna give the exam of 6.7. You're gonna give the exam of 6.7. So my recommendation is 6.5, 6.7 does not have very big changes. So go for vSphere install, configure, manage 6.7. Otherwise, you can go from 6.5 and then go for 6.7. Better get just this one, 6.7, because you're going to give the exam of 6.7, right? All right, so what we need to do is, so that is the recommendation. So how many are done? Done. So, oh man, serious, I put the wrong one. Okay, so where's that group? I will put that there as well. I have now put in that. Okay, so I bought 6.5, which is good. If we knew the difference between 6.5 and 6.7, we will be good with 6.7. Yeah, so ultimately you're gonna go for, so Kavita, if you bought 6.5, that's very good actually, because there is no big difference between 6.5 6.7, but 6.5 is good enough to but you're gonna pass the 6.7 exam, and I'm gonna obviously provide you all with the test sample questions as well, right? So yeah, I'm done. Woo, yeah. Okay, how many are done, guys? So those who are there, and if their right hand has not convinced them to click the finish button, do not click the finish button. Do not click the finish button. If you've already done, that's -20 already, temperature in January. So, but the thing is that you need a screenshot for this. Did I say that before? No. Okay. So guys, whenever in my class, please, if it says close or if it says finish, then please convince your right hand not to click it, right? So we jump to it. Oh, if it says finish, I have to just click finish. Or if it says close, I have to click that close. Otherwise, you know, something happens to us. And yeah, we just click this, right? So there you go. So two have already clicked finish. So yeah, so that's why you don't need that screenshot. Okay, so that's just those who are reaching there, just as a souvenir, you can just have this screenshot, right? Just, you know, frame it somewhere in your room that you've installed the vCenter. That's it, right? Okay, so other than that, I click, you click. Yeah, where's that then? So this means if Annie and Sandeep, you no follow me, why you no follow me? You follow me, I give mark, right? So it's that simple, right? It's in very, very, very simple English. You follow me, I give mark. You no follow me, I no give mark, right? So it's that simple. Okay, anyway, so when you take a screenshot of launching the web client, okay, that's also good if Annie has an idea. So yeah, or some also, okay, name of screenshot. So name of screenshot is those who have already finished it, so you need to connect to or open this vCenter, and name of screenshot should be that vCenter 6.5 deployed. vCenter for Windows 6.5 deployed. So I'm just gonna take that screenshot now, and I'll put that there. Screenshot 4. I'm not counting. Okay, screenshot 4 while I'm counting it. So yeah, those who have clicked it, you can just open the vCenter, and then wherever there's a big blue screen and you're able to put the username password at that screen, take a screenshot and just take a screenshot for that is installed successfully vCenter 6.5. Installed successful E, so full E, vCenter 6.5, and the screenshot could be yeah, what I took, or you could just open that, you know, launch that web client and take a screenshot of that. So if you haven't clicked finish, so then guys, what we need to understand on this screen is that administrator at vsphere.local is our top admin account, and that's the username with the domain name here, right? User principal name UPN, we can say. So administrator at vsphere.local, right? And so that's one. Now I'm gonna click that launch vSphere web client, this button here. I'm gonna click the launch vSphere web client without clicking this. I'm gonna launch. Screenshot name is installed vCenter successfully. That's the screenshot name. So install vCenter. Hopefully it lets me. Oh, it does not let copy anything from this browser-based OneNote. Seriously, what is wrong with it? Anyway, so still installing Amarjeet. Woohoo! Yay! Okay, I mean, like, yes, you will do it. You can do it. But Amarjeet, I think you're at 80%, 90% now. So that's gonna be hopefully 90%. There you go. Woohoo! You just need 2 more hours. That's it. No, just kidding. Yeah, I mean, like 2 more minutes, I guess. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So okay, guys. So when you are there, just take a screenshot of this screen, and well, and then try to understand the rest of it right now. So I'm gonna click that launch vSphere web client, right? So launch vSphere web client. Once you click that, so you can see that it's not launching. Okay. So okay. Anyway. Okay, so it's not launching. So the thing is that we need to launch it. So I'm just gonna give you the URL separately, right? So open the Google Chrome here. If it opened in the in the IE Internet Explorer, then copy it and paste it inside Chrome, right? So, but otherwise, the URL is https:// and then there is your machine name. So in my case, my machine name is did I give server 2 or my first name server 2? Local server, I'll go there. So it's server02.humber.local. Okay, got it. So the URL is server02.humber.local and then / vsphere-client. So that URL, I'm gonna copy this. Maybe your server name is different, but I'm just still pasting it in the chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, it does not paste it on chat. So I'm just gonna type in chat because I still don't have Vmware tools installed. So https:// server02.humber.local / vsphere-client. So I'm putting that. This is the URL that you're supposed to have, and it's supposed to install from there. So I'll just try to enter this now. Okay, so Donald says it launches at my level. So this is very good, Donald. So that's good. So guys, you can click the launch button. If it opens for you, that's very good. If it opens in Internet Explorer, then copy it from there and then paste it into Chrome, right? So we're gonna work inside the Google Chrome and not in Internet Explorer. So I've put that link here, https://server02.humber.local. You should not just copy paste there, just check what name you gave to your server. Maybe you gave server 2 instead of 02, right? So just check, and what is the spelling of the humber.local. So just try that, check that, your spellings there. So I've put that URL there, but it ends with vsphere-client, right? So then I'm going to click advanced here in the Chrome. And if I go way down here, so proceed to server02.humber.local. I'm just gonna click that, proceed to, right? So once I click that, so what I'm expecting is a screen and with this nasty get Adobe Flash Player. So that is also there, Adobe Flash Player. Wow, it rhymes. That is also there, Adobe Flash Player. Okay, so anyway, now this is the nastiness of Flash Player that you will see here, and that's why there is another type of browser that they have introduced, and that is called HTML5 browser. So this is the first type where you need to have Flash Player. I'm going to tell you how to troubleshoot that. Just wait for me. I'm going to tell you how to troubleshoot that. So the second type of browser I just want to show you as well. So just click the plus tab. Just open a second tab here as well. And here we can type https:// so exactly the same thing, server02 dot domain name humber.local / the other type of URL is you just add U, the letter U, and the letter I, UI, user interface. So that's your second type of browser that does not require Flash Player. It is purely HTML5 based vCenter configuration, right? So you just type UI here and enter. So that would not require Flash based, and the only purpose of this type of browser is because it does not depend on Adobe Flash Player, right? So Adobe Flash Player is nasty. So that's so this HTML5 is not nasty. So this is the Adobe Flash Player web client, and this is HTML5 web client, right? So both. So what we can do is we can log in from both. But first, if you have gone to UI here, so I'm just gonna put that in chat as well. https:// server02.humber.local / small UI. Guys, it is case sensitive, so it is small UI, right? So and I'll put it there as well. So this is the link HTML5 web client for vCenter without Flash player. So the URL is this. It's in the WhatsApp as well. No internet page. So yeah, then Olufemi, you have to check the spellings if you're typing that, and you have to check. Suppose you copy pasted what I typed there, so you need to check that what is your server name, what you gave, what is the spellings of those server name, what is the domain name that you gave. I don't see your typing. So I'm typing in this chat here. So oh, and in WhatsApp as well. So the two types of browser, I've just put it on WhatsApp as well, right? So server 2 vSphere client and then UI, the both types of. So I'm just gonna add that from there to the one node as well. So yeah, so I'll just add it as Flash player based web client for vCenter, and then the other one is HTML based web client for vCenter, right, which is already written there without Flash player. So yeah, so this is on your one node as well, and that's what you can check both. So okay, all of them is working now. Brian says okay, and so guys, these are the two web clients there. If I log in, so let's go ahead, and if you have put UI here and it opens without that error which is showing here, I'm going to show you how to resolve that. But if you're on UI here, let's try to log in. How do we log in from vCenter? The username is administrator at vsphere.local. So administrator at vsphere.local. Oh, there you go. Amarjeet has it. So administrator at vsphere.local, and the password is the long one. So maybe you put something else, but I put this one, right? Small ABC capital shift 123 and without shift 123. So I put this one, so I'm just going to use that one now. So small ABC capital ABC shift 123 without shift 123, and click login. So administrator at vsphere.local, it's there as well on the chat, and just try to log in from UI, and let's resolve that issue of the Flash player, because if you do see that in your production environments or wherever you go for a job, and your boss tells you, hey, resolve this and resolve this Flash player. So obviously we need to get internet connection, and then I will show you one more thing here. So let's just resolve the whole thing. So first of all, make sure that you're logged in from UI client, because one screenshot is needed for UI client, which is HTML5 client. One screenshot of you logged in from vCenter with a Flash player client. So HTML5 client screenshot is needed. Flash player successful login screenshot is needed. So I will show you how to troubleshoot that. But once you log in from HTML5, that's the screenshot that you can take. Oh, there you go. So Brahim already is there. That's it, exactly. This is a screenshot. So logged in from HTML5 client. So screenshot name of what Brahim showed on WhatsApp is, because I haven't logged in yet, so I'll still put that screenshot 5 logged in from HTML5 client into vCenter for Windows. Wow, it's a full paragraph. So screenshot HTML5 client name for the screenshot is this. So screenshot 5 is logged in from HTML5 client into Vcenter for Windows. Right? And I'll put that as a screenshot name for the picture that Brahim has shared on WhatsApp. So screenshot 5 name is on WhatsApp as well. And I hope I'm logged in now. Yeah, it's logging in. Yay! Okay, so here I am logged in now. Okay, so that's the screenshot. Once you just log in from HTML5 client, that's it. That's the screenshot we need. So I'm just gonna take that screenshot now, and guys, your name must be showing there in every screenshot. So that's the name, logged in from HTML5 client into Vcenter for Windows. Logged in from HTML5 client into Vcenter for Windows. That's screenshot 5 where we are logged in now. This is one screenshot that whenever you reach there, just you can take that. But we're gonna go for some troubleshooting of Flash Player. So guys, if you are not able to log in, but you're there where you can see this screen, then you can just follow me to fix this, right? So we need to at least know how to fix this. In fact, it's a bit more easier, or I'm used more towards Flash based clients. So okay, so anyway, if yes, there's one more thing confirmed from the previous course. I asked everyone, please follow the Flash based client, Flash Player based client, because it has all the advanced features there, right? So, and I was saying that the HTML5 client does not have some of the features of the advanced features. So suppose there's a main advanced feature, yes, every feature is there, but some of the sub features and sub features may not be there. So then the previous course students confirmed, some of the students actually went for that wild hunt there, and they realized that very few of the features were actually missing when we were doing the advanced configurations of vMotion or others. So some of the options were not yet there. So this means that HTML5 client is still kind of under construction, or they still are putting all the features there in HTML5 client. Otherwise, web client or Flash Player client still has all the features right now. So my recommendation is that although you're logged in from HTML5 client, just then follow me on the Flash Player client, so it has all the options for all advanced features. So if you're there now, let's just T-shoot that. It says that get Adobe Flash Player. Obviously, we need to download that. But what we need to do is we need to connect internet. We need to add a second network card on server 2, which will be connected to NAT, so we could get internet connection, right? So we need internet in this machine, temporarily only. But do not click this button when you do get internet connection. Do not click this button when you do get internet connection. Just follow me, because I'll show you how to add this, add-ons here, right? So I'm going to go to server 2 now to connect server 2 temporarily with a second network card to internet, right? So we could solve this issue of this message should go away and we could log in, right? So let's go to server 2 here, right click on server 2, and then we go down to settings, right, on server 2. We go down to settings on server 2. I'm going to add a second network card which will be connecting to NAT, so I could have internet connection. So I'm going to click the add button here, and then click network adapter, right? Add button here and click network adapter. So then click finito. Oh, I think we have earned doctorate today on adding network cards. So this is on NAT already, the second network adapter, so we're good, right? This is on NAT, it's good. That's it. Just add and press OK. So just add and press OK. So once we get internet connection, then don't click on that Adobe Flash Player button to get it. We're going to simply add some add-ons. Wow, what is that? So see this, did I get the internet connection or not? Did I or did I not? So if the yellow triangle goes away, I got the internet connection. So one day, Monday or Sunday, it's gonna go away. It's about to go away. Maybe, maybe not. Seriously. Okay. Right click here. Oh, it's disabled. That's why it did not appear, because last time when I had this, I disabled it. Later I just removed it. So when it came back, it was disabled. So I'm just gonna double click that and enable it. And yeah, now I got internet connection because yellow triangle is gone. Okay, so I got internet connection here, but I'm not gonna click this button. Do not click this button, guys. So then go right click on the not secure written in the Chrome. Then right click here on the not secure button in Chrome here, right? I'm gonna right click here, and then you can see that there's a certificate, there's a cookies, there's a site settings here. That button doesn't work. Well, Ruben, you clicked it, right? So I am asking everyone not to click it. To click or not to click, that's a question. Well, actually, the answer is not to click, right? So yeah, it will take you, or even if it works, it's going to take you to the adopt site, and then you're going to download the player, then you're going to install it, and it's still not going to work. So the whole thing doesn't work that way. Excuse me. So guys, right click here, not secure, and then on this not secure, and then click site settings. Right click on the not secure. We have very less minutes left, so I need to record this in the video. So I'm just gonna right click not secure and then click site settings. Once you click the not secure, right click the not secure and click site settings here, so it opens like this. So what we see here is there is location ask, camera ask, microphone ask, motion sensors allow, notifications ask. Now there's that JavaScript here that is allow, which is okay, but you can see flash and you can see block. So I'm gonna click block here, and I'm gonna click allow here for flash. See this? Under the JavaScript there's flash for if you're in the Chrome right now, and you should be in Chrome. So then it's allow. Images allow already. Pop-ups and redirects, it's also blocked. Pop-ups and redirects, it is also blocked. So I'm just gonna allow that, right? So two things I've allowed. Flash I allowed, pop-ups and redirects I've allowed, right? And advertisements, no. Background sync is allowed, right? If it's allowed, that's okay. Then there is automatic downloads here, this one, automatic downloads here. So I'm gonna, it is ask, but I'm just gonna allow that too, right? So what are the four things I changed? Flash is allow, and pop-up and redirects is allow, background sync is allow, and automatic downloads is allow. So I'm just gonna take a screenshot of that. Okay, and I'm gonna show that it's not like the screenshot requirement. This is just for you if later you're stuck with this. What were the options? I'm just gonna highlight those options here and put it on WhatsApp. So ever again, if you see that error, you just have to again follow exactly which one to allow. That's coming. So I'm just gonna put it on WhatsApp. I'm just gonna put it on OneNote as well. So sometimes you will need that. Well, 2 or 3 times more you will need that. So I'm just gonna put that as a reference, that which add-ons we are putting there. So that's on day 6 or week 6. That how to fix adopt flash player issue when logging into Vcenter. So the first one was get internet connection. Second is do this and do what. So I'm just gonna paste that. Okay, so that's yep, there we go. So the picture is there, and I'll put that picture in what is app as well. Oh, what's app? Okay. So, right guys, once that is done, so there is no save button up there or down here. So what we can do is we can just go back to directly to this page where the Adobe Flash Player option was showing there, right? If we go back to this page, now there's a reload button here as well, right? So reload button, we just need to click that. It was not there before. Once we made changes, then it says reload here after those changes were made, right? So let's click the reload button, and now that Adobe Flash Player should be gone because it has internet connection. It's going to be deployed automatically in the background then. One day, Monday or Sunday. Brahim, you have internet connection? And did all 4 of these options were allowed? Oh. Well, we added a second network card, Brahim, to add internet connection, right? So make sure the internet connection is there only, then download will succeed. If the internet connection is not there, we added a second network card, right? So you were not able to add the second one.
Disable the second Adobe card, sir.
Oh yeah, so double click that and enable it.
I followed all the steps, so should I deploy before opening this link? Should I disable it before opening this link?
Keep it enabled. So make sure that internet is there before you do all these settings. Right?
Yeah, okay.
So open the website and check if the internet is there or not. If it is not, then don't follow all this.
I'm getting 500 internal server error.
Sorry again.
I'm getting HTTP 500 internal server error.
Internal server error. Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, disable that and then try, because I have it enabled. And
Okay.
so then there's a question. I did, but showing not connected to cable. Kavita is logged in. Okay. Download failed. I did, but showing this. Showing not connected to cable. Okay, Himan says, but why do we need to enable internet for this? Well, Himan, then the Adobe Flash Player without internet, how can we download, right? So, oh, wow. Khalid has shown a picture on WhatsApp where Ethernet is giving a big cross. Khalid, see this? Are you seeing my screen? So right click here, go to settings, and on the second network card, if it comes today, on the second network card, make sure that these both boxes are checked. If they're unchecked, then, and also make sure that your laptop network card is enabled. Otherwise, it's a big restart. So these two cables must be checked. Okay, these are checked. Then your network card. So this Vmware Workstation is not connected to your physical network card, or okay. So Khaled is giving some screenshots there, and that's a lot of screenshots. Oh, so Iman says his is working without enabling internet. Okay, that's very good. So Bluetooth, Ethernet, network cable unplugged. So hey, your Wi-Fi is disabled. You have other Wi-Fi, but that is for USB adapter. So Khalid, just enable that Wi-Fi if your Ethernet cable. Did you connect to your laptop Ethernet cable? I'm connected with Ethernet cable from my laptop. It is faster than Wi-Fi for me.
Hello? Sir, no, I'm connecting through on my Wi-Fi 2.
Okay, so you can connect to Wi-Fi 1 because it's not detecting Wi-Fi 2. Or if you have Ethernet cable, that's better.
I cannot have internet cable.
Okay, then,
But it was working before. Like last class it was working.
So it is...
Yes, with the same internet connection.
It needs a nice restart. Nice means that power off all the machines, restart your laptop, and then come back here, and then power on all the machines, and that nice.
Okay.
Okay. And
Thank you.
and okay, so then there are other comments there. So I'm just gonna cancel here. So guys, this is the second screenshot. Those who are logged in, take a screenshot of this, screenshot number 6, and that is logged in from Flash player based web client. Okay, let me just take that final screenshot here, then I'll get to your messages, or if you have issues, then I'll attend to that. So this is your screenshot finale, and screenshot 6 equals logged into to Flash player based web client to Vcenter. Logged in, we can say logged in with Flash player based web client to Vcenter. And then I'll just put that screenshot here. So the final screenshot is screenshot 6, which is Control-C. I'm just gonna put that screenshot in WhatsApp as well as here. The name of the screenshot is in WhatsApp as well. Now let's, and then guys, there's already upload icon there. So if you've taken the final screenshot, then you have to suspend the machine, right click and power and suspend. Those who are suspending. Now let's get back to the messages. Flash player based web client. Okay, there you go. Okay, so there's Donald is logged into, that is what I have. So let me just check that and show everyone as well. That is Donald, the UI one, right? So the other one, this one, we need a screenshot for this vSphere web client as well. This one. So UI is the 5th screenshot. So this is HTML5 client, the HTML5 web client. So Flash player based is the other one. We need the screenshot for that too.
Sir, can I try with HTTP instead of HTTPS?
HTTP? Actually, it connects with HTTPS, but if you can connect with HTTP, yeah, go ahead, try it. So, what are the messages here? But Himan says, why do we need to enable internet for this? And I don't have cable. Oh, that's Khalid. And if any says logged in, if any, way to go, take the screenshot, you're good. Himan says, then it would work. It is just, we need to allow this flash. Yes. So, Iman, if it is working, that's very good. Without enabling network card, that's very good. For some, it does not work actually as well. So next time if it comes, yeah, we will try that too. So Khalid says, and then Brahim says bits are changing in every second. Oh, bits? Okay. No, I didn't get that. Olufemi says, should we activate the license with the license on the hub? License for what, Olufemi? License for... Well, you want to use that license now, yeah, go ahead. It's your license. Like, you want to use now, you want to use after 1 year, it's up to you. For the software, for the VMware software, if you're saying yes, sure, it's your license. You want to use now, you want to use later, it's up to you. Sure. Should we activate the license? Okay, then Khalid says, sir, the last 2 screenshots I will not be able to provide. Khalid, why? Just first give me back my samosas, then let's talk now. Why did I spend samosas okay, just no, keep it. So anyway, so then there is okay, I'll do it. So yeah, Khalid, but you can try to redo, right, and troubleshoot it during the week. Take your time and then put those screenshots, right. So Ajibola says, I have issues creating VM on the 6i1. I'm not able to locate the .iso file. Ajibola, that's last class. So you were not able to create a E6i01 virtual machine. Did you connect to E6i2 and do that? And Kavita says, sir, what about installation? Have not finished it yet. It's not finished yet, the vCenter? So take your time and follow the video, Kavita. And let me know.
I have done it completed and I have taken all these screenshots, but that finish we have not clicked it yet.
Oh, that finish. The finish line. That, there's a tape there, right? We need to... Yeah. So we can finish that now. Yay! Finish. Alright, thank you for a reminder of that. And so there's the, yeah, then our favorite moment here, we start getting all those team viewer numbers there. So guys, those who are done with these two screenshots, upload and bye bye. Okay. And Ruben has already started.
Sir, HTTP. Yeah, last step. I'm getting HTTP 500 errors.
HTTP 500. Okay. So anyone says should we delete the network adapter? Well, you can disable or delete. Yes. Anyone, anything. And Khalid says just we need the video upload ASAP. Yeah. So tonight or by tomorrow it will be there. So Donald says 2 screenshots. So there's a team viewer here. So I'm gonna stop the video now, guys, and